Hello, and welcome to the Humanity, where we do the things with the stuff for the people. I am Matt.
And I'm Tommy. And unlike most episodes, while the intro's playing, after I get that going and I do a couple other things, I usually have a chance to run to the bathroom, which would have been useful because I just drank a bunch of water before tonight. But my computer was being dumb and not letting me do things in a timely manner, so I didn't get to do that. So I may be jumping up and doing that later. But hi! Sorry, I just had to vent. It's been a day, man.
It's been a day.
So,
America's
yeah,
had a day.
yeah.
Also, Charlie Kirk is no longer with us, and we are not celebrating that because he was a person and he had two little kids and a wife.
hmm Yeah.
And violence brings more violence. So
Yep.
this isn't
Yeah.
good
Yeah,
for all kinds
he's
of
someone
reasons.
honest. Yeah, honestly, I wasn't like super familiar with him. Like, I never watched his show or listened to his anything. Really, all I was only familiar with him through like other people responding or reacting to him. So, I
He
mean,
had
so based,
horrendous ideas.
yeah, so based on what I saw, absolutely not a fan.
No.
But this is not how I want things to happen in that arena. Um, yeah, like not just because he's a human being, we don't condone political violence or anything like that, but like also just for the reasons of like the I mean, it's still early, like the aftermath of this is not going to be pretty. I just say that. But yeah, but I
Drive
mean,
home.
Matt, if you have anything to say, like, it's like I said, for people just tuning in, don't worry, this is not going to be what the
Right.
show is. So we're just,
Also, but
yeah.
just to like something that really drove home how impactful this is, like from someone's perspective outside the country. Uh, One of the places I went to like get information about it was Hassan Piker on YouTube, and he was in
Sorry,
the
who
middle of
was
his
that?
regular
Like, when you said the name of the person, you broke up, at least on my end. Who was that?
Hassan Piker
Hassan Piker. Mm-hmm.
goes by Hassan Abi, um, commentator. He was doing his regular live stream when the news broke, and so that was interesting to watch some of that because he was responding to it in real time. And like while he was live, he was getting texts from guys that he knows in Gaza who were like very quickly after it happened, like during his stream, were texting him like this is nuts, and
Wow.
like dudes in Gaza who are trapped and can't get out are texting him saying this is nuts. And they're
Wow.
concerned.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So now other commentators on all kinds of sides are now worried about this happening to them because this is now a thing that happens.
hmm Yeah. Which is not good.
No,
So,
it does get better eventually.
yeah.
This is a space where it's better for tonight.
Yes. Thankfully, because I certainly need it because another layer for me processing this is I accidentally, because people may be aware, there actually is a live video of the thing happening
Don't watch the
floating around
close-up
out
one.
there. Yeah, I accidentally watched it. Like, I just like the video was actually clearly labeled. I just didn't read it. I just thought it was like a video or like a story about it. So because I was wanting to know more information, so I clicked on it, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna need several minutes or more. So
Yeah, they shouldn't
yeah,
just call it graphic. They should call it like extraordinarily graphic, or because it's
yeah,
not
or just
regular
say
graphic YouTube stuff.
yeah. That's anyway. Uh, so I need something else to be happening tonight. So I guess maybe to kind of tie this in, Matt earlier today while we were texting about that in the show tonight. I guess I don't know if he did this on purpose, but it was a nice little tie-in because you mentioned because there was another story from a couple days ago that was kind of related to this
on the website / magazine Jezebel, and on the 8th, which was 2 days ago, I think.
Yeah, 2 days ago.
2 days ago, they had a story where they had a little tongue-in-cheek article. They had paid some Etsy witches or an Etsy witch to put a hex on the Republican Party or something like that. And in the story, they said, "Did it work? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see." And 2 days later, this happens, and this is exactly what spiritual warfare bugaboos would just eat up, because the spirit of Jezebel is huge in that kind of like thinking.
Yeah.
This is like so on the nose. This is like, it's like Trump wrote this movie. Like,
yeah, but as far as like the hex thing, I mean, my initial reaction to that is like, okay, usually if hexes were real, like if that was a real thing, I feel like something happened, someone would be like a bit more like supernatural and weird than just literally getting shot. You know,
well, he was in the middle of debating an audience member, because you know how he did that, and gun violence, and of course, probably earlier he was talking about trans people, and for sure trans violence, because he had been talking about it being a violent ideology. And I was like, man, the last thing we need is for this to be a trans person who's a really good shot.
Yeah. So, but speaking of Jezebel, I guess, how's it going, Ember? Good to see you. Like if you just joined us, don't worry, this is not going to be the topic of the evening. But to connect to that with what Matt was saying with this whole story about like the hex and everything, and how this is also like might cause like get another satanic panic.
Because they already think Jesus is coming back like next week. I mean, they're pretty. You know how they always thought he'd come back soon, a certain group in the Crimsbians? Well, now because Israel is expanding and like doing all this stuff, and they're really talking about sacrificing a red heifer, and really talking about tearing down the mosque that's on the Temple Mount and replacing it with rebuilding a temple. Like, this is feeding into that fever dream. And now, like, the Jezebel article happens with the hex on the Republican Party, and then the assassination happened, and like, it's gonna feed into the delusion. It's gonna be stupid.
Yeah. So on theme with that tonight, we're taking a look at a video from some pastor who is going to explain to us not just Satanism. Yeah, he's going to attempt. And I've only seen the first couple minutes of this, and like literally like his opening sentence, I was like, oh no.
I know.
No.
I was hooked from the very beginning. I was like, this is going to be catastrophic.
So yeah, nice tie-in there. But also just now, Matt made another unintentional tie-in. Actually tied into my drink this evening. So speaking of Jesus coming back tonight, I'm enjoying Three Floyd's Zombie Dust.
Zombie Jesus.
Speaking of Zombie Jesus.
Dusty Zombie Jesus.
Yeah. But I realized like drinking that tonight, like given today's events, is like, is this an insensitive choice? But no, it's actually, there was actually a personal reason I purchased this particular beer that I'll go into. What's that?
Because you're a zombie.
Something like that, but it's a whole story. So, but I'll let you intro what you're drinking first before I get into that, so you don't have to wait.
I just went and picked something up like 45 minutes ago, and I got something to go with the theme tonight.
Ooh.
The name of this beer is Eviscerated Pathway of Beauty. Very black metal gothic thing going on here. Yeah. It's a It's a double IPA with Citra and oats, which I like them saying a lot more than milkshake IPA.
Yes.
There's no milk sugar in it, so that I guess it doesn't really count. But I hate that name.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Nice.
My second beer is on theme too.
Oh, cool. My second beer is just going to be another one of these. But to go into why I got this, I think I mentioned last week on the show, like we're around. Let's see. So I had for people who don't know, like, so 4 years ago, I had stage 4 cancer. I'm all good now. And it's actually my anniversary of going into remission was this past Sunday on the 7th.
Remissiversary.
Yeah. And also last week, I think I said I had 2 different scans last week. I think I'd only had one by the time of the show last week. That one was all clear, but then the one I had on Thursday was also all clear. So
Yay!
we're all clear. So I have
more of the same, please.
Yes, please. I guess after like 4 years and like 15 or 16 of these things, I'm getting pretty good at them. So
it's good they're not X-rays. That would be bad for you.
Yes. No, it's just for those curious, it's a full body PET scan and then a head and neck MRI. So, yeah, I get to do those, or I like to call them my my periodic naps, because it's about the only time I really get a chance to just lay down for an extended period of time and no one bothers me. So, all right. Am I still here?
I'm still here. You're still here. You're not moving.
Okay, yeah, my computer is like completely wigging out right now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
What if you jigger your what if you go, can you like reselect your camera?
Let's see here. Do. Yeah. Yeah, this thing is crashing hard.
You need to restart.
Yeah, so I'll be back in a couple minutes, folks. I hope.
Okay, I'll talk about things and stuff.
All right. Have fun.
Okay. Well, you get to see more of my room here. Also, like, share, and subscribe. Share with your friends. Share with your enemies. We're not picky. So over here, you see this picture on the floor? That's been on the floor. I don't even remember where it was going to go because it's been there so long, and it actually kind of looks all right there now. It's a calla lily, I think, in black or white. Got it at a framing shop I used to work at. Well, so Charlie Kirk. Why is that on my mind still? We'll get through it, people. Whatever happens after this. So we don't have to talk about it later. The video is going to get into some spiritual warfare stuff, I think. And Tommy and I used to be like semi-professionally into that. And by that, I mean that we like volunteered once a year at this big men's camp shindig with like 1,000 guys there. And we were part of the team that would heal and deliver. And so some of the stuff this guy says, like, even it's bad even for he just does a terrible job all around. He's a pastor of a church. I forget where, but I was not pleased. He does a lot of online stuff for being a pastor, honestly, and it's not tied to his church. It just seems to be like his own separate thing. He's going to talk about Satanism, Luciferianism, and Atheism. And as you can guess, those are probably very similar in his head. Wow, this is a long time to vamp by myself. I'm not used to this. So, if things get fishy and people need help with whatever is coming next, message us. We'll see what we can do. Because I suspect that things get shady faster from here. Man. So I used to be super spooked by the whole satanic stuff and Luciferianism, and I would probably have had like a really big gut response to the stuff that like Tommy and I are going to say tonight. Like I would have been appalled. My past self would have been appalled and thought that I had been like taken by the dark side or something. Because like we're gonna laugh a lot, but like this stuff gets pretty heavy if you take it seriously.
Speaking of pretty heavy,
What?
I mean, no. Anyway, yeah, sorry about that.
That was hard.
What was?
I didn't have anything prepared to talk about, and so I was just like pointing out a picture that's on the floor that you can see in the wider shot, and
oh,
I've been there for years, and I don't even remember where it was gonna go because it never got there.
Nice. Oh, yes. Thanks, BS. How would I do?
I wasn't even watching the chat.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah. Also, thanks. Yeah, sub numbers not going down. Hey, we're still at 67. So I said if we could get at least 2 more, that'd be pretty nice. If you know what I'm saying. So, but I did notice. So we put out a couple shorts recently. Go check those out if you haven't seen them. But one of them I noticed because I swear this happened like as I was watching like see how many views we were getting like when I was texting Matt. It's like, hey, it's already up to this. But so I texted him a number, but then the next time I checked, it was actually one less. So somehow I didn't even know you could do this. Like, but the view count on one of our shorts went down. So I want to know like, how can I have this power? Because I can think of a lot of videos on YouTube I would love to decrease the view count of.
So this is a good time to point out I've seen several lefty and atheist channels reporting that their views are getting throttled.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sick had that video and he steadily down. It looks like they turned on a setting to drop it by a certain percentage over a period of time. Because
he said it was really weird, especially he said it was really weird in Sir Sick's case, which also, by the way, I know we've recommended Sir Sick on YouTube, but check it out, SIRSIC, hilarious dude. But because he said it was really weird because the video in question, he said he basically almost specifically designed this one to be like clickbait. I mean, it was talking about a guy on Joe Rogan, so I mean, just mentioning Joe Rogan should like kind of bump you up, but it was Stephen Meyer, that creationist fuckwit, whatever. But yeah,
so super important that people share things word of mouth.
Yes. So please, thank you, Spooky, for watching a short of ours.
And I feel bad for anybody making a living on YouTube because people are seeing their income drop steadily, and there's a very good chance that things are going to get ghosted. I guess it's no mystery why it's atheists and people on the left who are getting throttled.
Yeah, probably because of misunderstandings because
their ideas are so great that they have to do this. Otherwise, people won't know how great their ideas are.
Right? Yeah. So
I forgot how creepy this whole setup is.
Yeah, it's like he's got a background there, but like it's not centered behind him, but he's still also like kind of blocking it. So that's gonna bug me.
Is that a doorway? Or is that an intentional background that he's made and didn't hang a picture straight?
Right. I don't know. Sorry, I'm also looking at the chat. So I'm assuming, I know you mean just like triple digit and double digit numbers, but I just love you're getting triple X views. It's like, yeah, go watch Ember stream. She just watches porn apparently live. Just kidding. But
yeah, that sounds like something that they could easily tweak on the back end. They're like,
yeah,
only this percentage of views count or something.
Mm-hmm, yeah, but then he later corrects this. Of course, her sick is hilarious. He's British. No, and so is Spooky, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Ember says I promoted last week's for all the rest of the week. Clearly, I'm not a great influencer. Hey. Yep, I can relate. But we kind of had like an almost weird like opposite problem. You remember like one of our episodes? I think this was like back around like the end of spring or end of winter, early spring. Like but it was only on the Facebook side. One of our video because like for us like on Facebook at the time, like a really good episode, we'd get like north of 100 views. Like most of our views on Facebook were in like the 30 to 50 range if we were lucky, but it was usually like the ones where we had a guest like Derek or Aaron where they really jumped. But then one day like we were just getting all kinds of views, like even like our live views was like higher than they ever were, and I checked later it was like over 1,000 views, which we'd never got anywhere near before.
I think they were dialing in their bots.
Yeah,
I think that's what was going on.
It was just the one episode.
Yeah,
but also it was funny because apparently one of our viewers that night was also for some reason your mother-in-law, and she like apparently tuned in right when I said like one of the most like inappropriately blasphemous things ever. So something about servicing the Almighty orally or something, but
yeah, she's probably like, oh geez.
Yeah, that kind of website. So anyway, oh yeah, so if anyone, in case anyone else was curious, like I did take or was concerned about me from what I said earlier, I did take the time during my computer reboot to take my little potty break, so I should be all good.
Oh, I'll say about my mother-in-law is she's not a Christian, but that was probably too much for her. Because I think she thinks there's a God, but like it's not like a person exactly. You know, that kind of new age stuff.
Yeah, so he probably doesn't have a dick that can be sucked. That's
it was probably so absurd to her she was confused.
Well, good. That's our aim here. So, but speaking of so absurd and confusing, oh yeah, I forgot I need to stop like partially. There you go. All right.
Why are his arms so big and his head so small?
Looks like it's maybe something with the angle. Maybe it's just like the camera's like a little too low, so it's like shooting up or something. I don't know. Yeah, that is
the range. Never mind.
Yeah. Things, technology, forced perspective. It's like that stuff they did in Lord of the Rings to make like Elijah Wood look like a hobbit, only he's doing it to his head and just his head. So yeah.
Oh, I'll explain my shirt.
Yes.
Showbiz Pizza Place was I think Chuck E. Cheese.
Yes.
But definitely more racist and jankier.
Yeah, different animals. Like I think the main character there was like a bear that played a banjo or something.
No, the front man was a gorilla.
Well, yeah, the front man of the band, but I think like of their branding and everything, like basically their Chuck E. Cheese guy was the bear. At least that's how I remember it. I could be way off.
The guitar bear. You're probably right.
Yeah. But yeah, I could be way off on that. If anyone remembers Showbiz Pizza in the chat, please let us know. And
the gorilla was named after a black recording artist.
Yeah, his name was
Fats Domino.
So
his name, the gorilla's Fats Geronimo.
Yeah.
Because the 80s.
Yep, that's just kind of what you did. But I guess since we're explaining T-shirts, this is Samael, one of my favorite bands, a Swiss black metal / post black metal, whatever that means, kind of band. This is specifically for their single "Anti-God." But I love like the way like the lyrics are. It's not so much anti-God as in like I am against God, but more anti-God in the sense of like an antidote or an antibiotic, like that kind of thing. He's like in the chorus is like I am the antidote for the syndrome of God, and great lines like faith is alive when reason is dead. Forget to live while waiting for the day. Yeah, great song. Check it out.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it wouldn't have done well there.
Yeah, it's like
it was.
I
can't Americana.
Yeah, I can see that's the kind of restaurant.
That was a janky amusement park nearby. Remember? Did you ever go to Americana?
I did. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think traveling fair that doesn't travel, like traveling.
Yeah, it's just stuck because they realized no one else wants us, so we'll just stay here.
They didn't fix things until they broke. My dad worked for a company that sold like the big gears and chains and stuff, and he was like, "Don't ever go there." He's like, they order parts when people are stuck
in real time. But yeah, Showbiz Pizza, Chuck E. Cheese, like that's the kind of thing I could only really see that doing well. If anywhere outside the U.S., I'm thinking maybe like Japan, because they seem to be into like really weird, especially like weird American shit. They kind of seem to dig.
Yeah,
but
it was a Mountain Dew fever dream.
All right. Well, as much as I'm enjoying like it, just looking like we're just ignoring this guy, like we tend to do when we have videos. But it's
speaking of hexes, I think he's hexing us right now.
Ooh. So all right. So any short of ooh. Awesome. I was showing off this T-shirt last week. Fantastic. Indeed.
A stationary fair.
Yeah. Station that's to me that sounds like a fair for like paper products. Where yes. Like, oh, who's got the best like bright white copy paper?
Yeah, speaking of the 80s plus autism, the stationary fair.
Because that's where this brain goes. Anyway, so any setup you want to give for this video, Matt? Since you've seen it and I have not.
All right. I fixed this problem with the lights. It's still doing it.
So did they hex your lights too? Are your lights part of the Republican Party?
So it used to pick a different time every night to go off, and now it's the same time, and there's nothing that's supposed to like make it go off now. That reminds me, before we get into this guy, I was talking to Erin upstairs in the bedroom one time recently, and Erin's my wife. And I was talking about how
we need to do it now.
Yeah. Like conservative Christians are sure that like what's happening is the end of the world and Jesus is coming back, and like I think it's definitely a kind of apocalypse that we're going through right now, kind of worldwide, because there's some kind of reset happening. And what I said was, you got two sides. One side, and they either think Jesus is coming back or it's the end of everything. And right in between them, our ceiling fan light turned on. It's remote controlled. It can only come on when the remote triggers it. Like, and I didn't touch it. So I thought that was weird. And I was like, what a fucking asshole if there's a God. Right in the middle of the two. Like, I don't know which one it is. Yeah. It was right it was right as I started saying the end of everything. And I'm like, what?
It's like, it's like his timing a little off?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like that video that's like gone viral.
Does that. So that was like super weird.
Yeah, but it's like that video I've seen like friends have shared with me because they're like, you're an atheist. This is funny. It's this guy like in his car, like there's like a rainstorm or something going on. It's like, look, if God is real, then there will be lightning in 3, 2, 1, and then there's like this big lightning strike, but it's not quite like on time, like with his countdown.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, God needs to work on his timing. That's what I'm getting out of this. But anyway,
Yeah.
also,
so I was like, well, it's definitely one of those two.
But again, before we get to the video, something else I keep forgetting. Like, so not just going over our T-shirts. If people want to share their T-shirts in the chat, that's fine, or their socks, whatever. But also, what you're drinking, if anything, let us know. We enjoy hearing that as well. All right. So, would you like to set up our weirdly proportioned by this
I don't
angle
even remember
friend?
his name. I did it a little bit earlier. He's going to talk about when you were offline. As you can see, Satanism, Luciferianism, atheism, and the lie that God is in control of everything. Bet you he won't talk about that, but
looks like your name is Clint Byers.
Oh yeah, Clint Byers. He looks like a Clint. That paneling looks like a Clint. That looks like that's who that belongs to.
Yep. See, the internet wasn't around like when God became a thing, so I guess he's still figuring it out. Oh, now here's a hot topic.
This is my work hat. Just paint here, or this side. Paint here, dirt smudge here.
I mean, no lies detected. So, and unfortunately, I do not have any awesome hats.
See, I wore a hat earlier, and then it made my hair do this. And so it was like, well, we can't have that.
Even though we just did. Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
but I just don't want to look at it. It'll be distracting to me.
Oh.
It'll probably get distracting. A trapezoidal head.
Well, that's kind of cool. So that would distract me because, like, that's awesome. How do I do that?
A parallelogram.
Currently also very clean looking. Yes.
Huh.
So good job. All right. So any other setup for the video before we get into it and hear how awesome the opening?
It's a little batshit / a lot.
Oh, good. So he'll fit right in.
Yeah.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
All right. And I think it might go a little something like this.
There's a pretty significant difference between a Satanist and a Luciferian. A Satanist typically knows that Jesus is Lord, Jehovah is the one true God, and that they are in rebellion against that God.
Now, if I were to tell you that this man is going to offer the wrong definition of Satanism, I guarantee you none of you would have thought of that as because usually the way people fuck up the definition of Satanism is saying that they worship a literal Satan, which a very small minority of Satanists do. That they're called theistic Satanists, but generally, like Satanists, like Church of Satan, Satanic Temple, like they don't actually believe in a literal Satan. That's something a lot of people get wrong. I don't know if I've ever heard someone get it that kind of wrong before. That was impressive.
This is his assessment, I think. Purely and only his assessment. He did not look anything up, talk to anyone else.
Now, I did look up the definitions of all these words, but like before the stream. But I think having all those tabs open is part of what contributed to my computer just completely losing its shit. So yeah. So I'm going to back him up.
Is a diverse range of religious and philosophical beliefs centering on the figure of Satan, with two main branches: theistic Satanism, which involves the worship of Satan as a deity, and the atheistic Satanism, which is symbolic Satanism, where Satan is a symbol of traits like rebellion, individualism, and carnal indulgence, rather than being a literal being. So, like, those three traits really help me tell the difference between this and Luciferianism.
Yeah. So while you read, like, I'm going to run and get another prop. I'll be right back. But
okay. Well, I'll keep defining. Luciferianism is a diverse system of beliefs that venerates Lucifer not as the traditional Christian devil, but as a symbol of knowledge, independence, and enlightenment. It emphasizes personal growth. freedom of will, and the pursuit of enlightenment, often through spiritual practices like ritual magic and meditation. And there's like an atheistic version, which is the predominant one, and there's a theistic version, which is considered the weirdos. Same with Satanism. Most of them are atheistic, and they think the theistic ones are weird. And atheism is just a disbelief or lack of belief in the existence of God or gods, which, if that's the first time you're hearing that, welcome. This only gets more awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so what I got, I just, to show, like, I am a card-carrying member of the Satanic Temple. And,
here.
And it lists the 7 tenets. Oh, yeah, I have my certificate, too, but that's...
I'll one up you. You have this one, too. This is my certificate that shows that I paid money for the certificate.
Yeah, basically. But it also lists, like, there's 7 tenets on the back. We may get into that later or not. But, yeah, I just wanted to have it on hand. Just, show some street cred. I don't know. But, plus, it just looks really cool.
It does.
Yeah. So, and that's one of the things that kind of drew me towards it, like, because, as you may have noticed, as a black metal fan, I appreciate the imagery. I think it's really nice. Ooh, let's see. Oh, last week Missing Mom went live during the stream. The week before, B.S. Lewis went live during the stream. I think I started a spontaneous live stream in about 90 minutes. Hey, I don't know if I appreciate this behavior, folks. This is why we're still stuck at 67.
Is that them? Is that them like letting us know how long our episode should be? Like about an hour and a half. They're like, yeah, goodbye.
No, but see, I go by what Apologia said of Dr. Kip's live streams that tend to go long. Not as long as ours. Not that this is any kind of measuring contest, but hey, ours are longer, Kip. You want to fight about it? But
we did that for you.
I wish I still had that video, but that was one of the ones that got deleted and I didn't find to bring back up. But if people are curious, go on our YouTube channel and watch the promo that Dr. Kip accidentally cut for us. It's called Dr. Kip endorses the humanity and then immediately regrets it. It's one of my favorite things I've ever made. But as Apologia, another one of our favorite YouTubers, said during one of Kip's lengthy live streams, sort of a dig at some the Christian apologetics, talking about why the afterlife and the existence of God is so important. Because if this life is all there is, things don't matter if it's not eternal. If it ends, then it's really meaningless. So Apologia said, "Yeah, Dr. Kip's streams go so long. That's why they're meaningful," or something like that. So, I probably severely butchered that, but yeah,
really, it's just us hanging out.
Yeah,
and you guys are here too. I don't know why I sounded sad about that.
Yeah, really, kind of intentionally or not, but kind of the vibe that I kind of feel most weeks is this is basically me and Matt's hangout time, and the fact that the rest of you are here is a little weird, but we dig it. So
yeah, no, it's very cool. Don't go anywhere.
Yes. Apology is one of your biggest fans. Wow.
Look at that.
Challenge accepted. I'm going to be a bigger fan than Paul. Show you. See that? Yeah, that's right. Longer than Kip, bigger than Paul.
We should get back to Clint.
Thank you. All right, I backed him up just because I want to hear this opening again. So
there's a pretty significant difference between a Satanist and a Luciferian. A Satanist typically knows that Jesus is Lord, Jehovah is the one true God, and that they are in rebellion against that God. The Luciferian thinks that Lucifer is a light bringer, a knowledge bringer, and the God of the Bible is a bad guy, or actually evil. So the Satanist knows that they're in open rebellion, and the Luciferian judges for themselves
Isn't
against the God of the Bible.
that the same thing?
Yeah, right. Yeah, because
It's different words, same
yeah,
thing.
no, yeah, no, because like that's one thing I know about Satanists. Like I've never heard any of them judge against the God of the Bible or say that he's a bad guy. Nope. That it's like
Okay.
I mean because he describes Satanists as like basically knowing God is God, but like rebelling against him. But like, isn't that the case for anyone rebelling against something? Is that basically them saying that thing I'm rebelling against is the bad guy? Like, am I wrong?
No.
I mean, that's like saying in Star Wars how like the rebels really knew that the Empire was right. It's like,
I think he has looked at too many Satanist memes and doesn't understand sarcasm. Because, like, yeah, they know they're in open rebellion against the God of the Bible, but they don't think he's real. Like the memes, they pretend that he's real to do the meme. Like,
yeah, I mean, really, if anything, what they're rebelling against is the idea and its pervasiveness and privileging in the culture and how domineering and oppressive it is. Like, yeah, they're rebelling against like the systems like built in its name, basically. But yeah,
and
that's
like,
really why I joined the Satanic Temple. I swear this stream isn't sponsored, and this isn't like a
can
infomercial
we
or
get him
anything.
the sponsor?
Ooh, that could be nice, but
I mean, just $1, just so we can say it. We don't have to say
Yeah.
how much.
that would be awesome. I would love to make that happen. But
I mean, just,
really,
yeah, just send us $1 for the year. I don't care.
Empire's right. They just had bad PR.
Who would say that? You're British.
Because as an American, if there's anything that I've learned from movies, it's like anyone with a British accent is a bad guy. Especially in those movies.
Well, yeah, it codes two different ways. I think like bad guy, or it's supposed to code as like super sexy. You know, like Kate Blanchett, right?
Ooh.
Super sexy.
Even
when she's playing a villain, still.
It's true. But yeah, I would watch that commercial. I said if I wasn't already a member,
it would be so sarcastic. You could do it like a you know like the film strip things we used to watch in school. They were like from the 60s and 50s. You know, we could do a little like
those. I went to a dumb school. We didn't watch anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But we could do a 1950s style film reel promo for the Satanic Temple. You know, like with their women's healthcare van and.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, because really, that's like speaking of like the thing they do like more like against like the like societal structures and like how Christianity is kind of taken over in a lot of ways. Like that's really like I said, as much as I love the symbolism, whatever, and the aesthetic, and I like a lot of ideas. Like even though I don't really. Like I said, I'm technically a Satanist, but it's not something I really think about much. I don't really consider myself like devout, if that's an appropriate word for it or not. But mainly what I joined for, because I joined like right after the election, it was more just like because I wanted to support their activism, like specifically like political activism, like against like Christian nationalism, that sort of thing. So I guess you might say like, as one infamous Richard Dawkins said, how he's a cultural Christian. Like I like to say, I'm a cultural Satanist. So, okay. Now we're getting serious.
Yeah.
But
the second one was better, so I guess thanks.
Yeah. that is pretty hilarious, though.
Didn't we build it taller the second time? That's when it got the big dome on top.
No, the White House doesn't have a dome. The Capitol has a dome, though.
What the fuck? No, you're right. Shit.
It happens. Yeah, like we wanted to one up them so much we made a different building bigger.
But you know what? If you guys wanted to come back and get rid of the ballroom when that goes up, you could do that.
Yeah, or if you want to like unpave the rose garden, that would be awesome too.
With slabs of limestone, like the rock that looks the most like fucking concrete. That's what they use.
Yeah. Yeah, I think someone said like, "Oh, great! Trump turned the rose garden into a cheesecake factory patio."
Yes, and they put tables with umbrellas that like it looks like a Mar-a-Lago little patio shit.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, speaking of things that just annoy us to no end, let's get back to Clint. So, explaining.
By the way,
So I guess what? Sorry, go ahead with your thought.
I love everything about his setup. This mic stand that just like goes out to like forever, and and the picture behind him that I have seen somewhere before. I think it was in a doctor's office or something. I have seen that exact picture before. IRL. That's all.
Yeah, me too. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, or at least something like it. It's actually a pretty cool picture, but yeah. But so yeah, so
look at it. Oh, sorry. My brain was like, "Hey, so never mind."
Yeah, never mind. All right. So we kind of went over his like definition of Satanism and how fucked that was. Like, any thoughts on his definition of Luciferianism?
It was better. It was better.
Yeah. The Predator patio. Yep, I think I've seen that.
Yes.
All right. So,
tell you what, the documentary is going to be awesome.
Yeah. Yes, I'm looking forward to watching that a couple decades from now and having like having it reopen the trauma wounds. That'll be fun. Can enjoy it with the kids.
Clint.
Maybe I'll enjoy it with the grandkids. All right.
And when you read scripture, you see that this is true about Lucifer, that he reasoned by the brightness of his own glory. He looked at himself and he considered, I can be God. Oh, yeah. I'm better than that guy. So the Satanist, you know, if you really, truly, actually meet a Satanist, and maybe some of you have come out of that and you can attest to this, but...
Anyone want to really, truly meet me? Or Matt? Like, plenty of people have really, truly met me. So I wonder if any of them think what this guy's about to say.
He's also doing that thing where it's not mistranslation. The misappropriation of was it the King of Babylon or something that was called nicknamed the Morning Star, and that's what this story is really about.
Yeah. That passage in the Bible that describes Lucifer, because it really just means like the light bringer. So yeah, like the morning star, that brings the light of the morning. Basically,
they're kind of shoehorning
and that light is like
concepts in there.
Yeah. With that. So that, like so many passages, especially from the Old Testament, that are supposed to be prophecies or talk about someone, like if you actually go back and read them, it's really not that. Like, real quick case in point, I remember even like as a Christian going back and reading the book of Isaiah, especially like around like the parts like in Isaiah 53 that are supposed to be like the messianic prophecies, and like maybe it's not 53. No, Isaiah 53:6. That's maybe, I don't know. I'm getting that number's in my head for some reason, but I don't think that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, the passage that talks about like, and a virgin shall be with child. So I remember just reading that, like as I was reading through Isaiah, and I got to that verse, and I remember as a Christian, I remember thinking, this sounds like he's just describing like a current thing. Like he's talking about, he's telling this king, like, hey, go see this virgin. She's going to be pregnant. But then like the rest of that passage basically says like, and by the time she gives birth, this king who's oppressing you like will no longer be a problem. So it's basically like Isaiah telling this king like, hey, we're going through some shit now, but don't worry, this there's this sign of this pregnant woman. Also, fun fact, the word virgin there might not actually mean virgin. It might just mean young lady. But anyway, this woman who's pregnant, she's going to have, but by the time she gives birth, that this guy is not going to be a problem. So the fact that like but one of the writers of the New Testament, I want to say is Matthew, because he did this a lot. So
Yeah,
trying to make that a prophecy about the Messiah, like I think it was Peter Enns who put it in these terms, which made me laugh. He's like, because can you imagine if that's actually what Isaiah was talking about, but using that as a prophecy for the king who was like currently being oppressed by someone, like what kind of comfort would that have been for Isaiah to go to the king? It's like, hey, king, I know we're going through some really tough shit right now, but don't worry, because in a couple hundred years from now, or several, maybe 1,000, I don't remember, several hundred years from now, there's going to be this guy. But so, but speaking of actually meeting a Satanist, you've met yourself. I'm just too poor to get one of the fancy certificates. Hey, I can really. I'm not saying it was a good idea for me to drop the money on this, but like I said, it was after the election. I was in a mood. I also joined the Freedom from Religion Foundation, which
I think mine was a birthday present to myself or something.
Oh, well, good for you. I'm happy for you. All right, so let's get back to this guy saying, if you ever actually meet a Satanist.
Truly actually meet a Satanist, and maybe some of you have come out of that and you can attest to this, but you know that you're in rebellion against God and you enjoy it. You either have a sexualized or romanticized perspective of hell.
Sexualized? Is he telling on himself? He's like,
yeah,
if sex is out of marriage and, with like anybody except your wife, it gets you to hell, then like, is that just what they do down there? Like, does he think it's just like black leather porno all the time down there?
That was, like I said, I think I got at least this far in the video when I was checking it out. I was like, whew. Man. This guy's brain has been some places.
Anton LaVey believed that there would basically just be he and his friends partying in hell. I don't think he really believed that. I think that was really just kind of a...
Hold on. I'm going to...
Anton LaVey believed that there would basically just be he and his friends partying in hell. I don't think he really believed that. I think that was
like weird to me how he says like, so Anton LaVey believed this, but I don't think he really believed that. Like, that was just really weird to me how.
And I don't think that's what he really believes. I think he was like, if it exists, this is what I'm anticipating. I don't.
Yeah, but for Clint here to say like, this is what Anton LaVey believes, I don't think he really believed that. Like, well, which is it? So, anyway, I just thought that was weird, like most of this.
Really just kind of a for show and emotionalism, but deep down he might have actually believed that. But the Luciferian...
now he might have believed it deep down.
Yes and no, and a maybe.
So he's got all his bases covered.
Super informative, Clint.
See... Well, you see, he's a Christian pastor. They're super good at the unfalsifiability framings of things. So
yeah, you got to hedge your bets every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all about.
You got to hedge those wagers like Pascal, man. It's a way of life for them.
I want to talk about Luciferianism for a minute because it's actually in a lot of our churches today, unfortunately. So you see
I want to go to those churches.
Yeah.
The Luciferian mindset in the Garden of Eden at the very beginning with Adam and Eve when he comes in and he causes them to question God's integrity, to question God's character, to question God's word.
So the snake is all right. So the snake is both Lucifer and Satan, because he kind of talked about them like they were different a little bit.
Yeah.
Or maybe that was just in my head.
Yeah, Clint's all over the place.
Fun fact, doesn't say anywhere in the Bible that the snake was Lucifer or Satan. That was extra biblical thinking.
Good callback.
To question God's law and code. The Lucifer mindset says, did God really say, I'm not really sure you can trust that guy. I'm not really sure that he's telling you the truth.
He did lie a lot.
And so that question.
What's that?
He did lie a lot. And Jesus, when he said to the Pharisees, you belong to your father, the devil, father lies. I forget the whole verbatim thing.
Yeah, he was like, you belong to your father, developer. Yeah, I think it's like you belong to your father, the devil. He was a liar from the beginning. Which also, someone please point to me in the Bible a time where Satan lied.
He told the truth since the beginning. If you're going to say the snake was Satan.
Yeah, because I put that question out there like on my Facebook page a while back, saying like, basically saying like, show me a point where Satan actually lied in the Bible.
And even when he quoted scripture, did a good job.
Yeah, but but one of my Christian friends brought up as an example, like, oh, in the garden when he told them that if they ate the fruit, they wouldn't die, but their eyes would be opened and they'd be like God. Like that was like the original lie, saying we could be like God or whatever. And I'm like, okay, first of all, that was literally a snake, not Satan. That was like a later interpretation. But later, like what? But I told this person like, okay, keep reading, because after they eat the fruit and God is kind of like talking to himself / probably other gods. What does he say? He says, oh, now that they've eaten the fruit, now their eyes are opened and they will be like us, knowing good and evil. So literally what the serpent told them.
Yeah.
So if you're going to say that the serpent, Satan, lied there, but he's saying exactly what God said, then you're saying that God also lied. No, God lied earlier when he told them, if you eat it in that day, you will die, which didn't happen. He didn't tell them the whole, oh, your eyes will be open, then you'll be like me. So,
with apparently no explanation of what he was even talking about. They're like, die? What's that? And he didn't explain.
And before, like the fruit was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So they literally had no knowledge of good and evil, like what that even meant. So telling them that's wrong to eat that, they're like, what does that mean?
So the symbolism of snakes during the period of time when that story was first available, it had kind of dual symbolism. It was a symbol of wisdom, but it was also a symbol of like, death and poison and all that, which is super poetic for it to be used in the story there, because knowledge of good and evil, it can be wisdom or it can bring calamity, depending what you do with that knowledge. So I thought that was interesting. I was like, it makes a lot of sense. This is pretty well written.
Yeah. And again, this is something we've mentioned before, and it's like when you read these stories literally, you miss so much of what's actually going on. Like if you just look at them like not as like scripture or divine inspiration, but literally just ancient literature, like it's interesting stuff. And the people writing a lot of those stories like were like really good at like weaving things together with their symbolisms and all that. So
it was their best exploration of meaning, I think, at the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it survived, because it jived with enough people's brains.
Right. But now to the opposite of well thought out and well put together. Back to Clint.
Is still prevalent in our society today. Is God actually trustworthy? Is he actually a person of character?
Not a person, dude.
And then
also he's still so I guess he's basically stuck on the idea that like however he defines them, Satanists or Luciferians, whatever, like apparently we just agree that God is like exists and he's real. It's just a matter of how we view him.
I mean, if that God of the Old Testament and parts of the New Testament is real, then not good.
Yeah, that's why I say, like, no, I don't hate God because I don't think he's real. But if the God of the Bible turned out to be real, then yes, I would hate him for so many reasons. But I can think of one off the top of my head, quite literally.
I think if you
But
know everything, a lot of Christians don't know all the stuff God did in the Old Testament, because they're not taught it on Sunday, and then when they read it on their own, if they do that, they're kind of like their brain just skips over it because they're like, "There's no box to put that in." They haven't been taught where to put that, so they just don't put it anywhere.
Yeah, because I remember reading that stuff and being just like, that's probably fine.
Yeah, so the people who know all that stuff and know God commanded like a rape and genocide and all that stuff, and they're okay with that. I think that should be a tool for diagnosing people. Not saying we can do that, but I'm saying I can see how that would be a diagnostic tool or a red flag tool for somebody who is a mental health professional to be like, there's a lack of empathy here on kind of a clinical scale.
Yeah, I bet. But hey, Jimmy, how's it going, buddy? Like, what did that dude just say?
Oh, if you thought that was something, I am positive he has more.
Let's let him cook. We still have like another 13 minutes of this.
And you look at the typical atheistic view. It's interesting, and I'm sure we'll get comments on this. Yeah, if you're an atheist watching this, you might comment. Let me know what you think about this.
We might comment.
Hey, everybody should go comment.
Yeah. Like Jimmy commented, he's an atheist. So I guess Clint is right about something. So,
but in my experience, when you get a true atheist that's either scientific minded or maybe they were a Christian and they left the faith, really kind of all walks of life of atheism, regardless of background, when you really start pressing them, it's interesting how this belief comes out that the God of the Bible is unjust.
As a character in a story, man. Like, we're allowed to say that character in that story is full of evil. Like, that's we can do that without calling that character real. People do it in movies with movies all the time. Villains are villains because they're evil in the movie. Like, that's
yeah, like, you know that, like, Jafar from Aladdin, he was rather unjust. So
8 people watching.
Seriously, what the fuck? Like, get a life. I mean, welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome to your lack of life. I mean, anyway.
Join us, won't you?
Like, we don't have a life either, so we're glad you're here to share that.
Literally wouldn't be doing anything else but probably be on this couch over here watching something.
Right. Yeah. See, and as Jimmy is fond of reminding us on his show, airing Thursday nights at, what is it, 7 Eastern, 6 Central now that it's football season, Thursday nights, unreligious, our buddy Jimmy. I'm on there when I can, which has been less lately, but I swear I'll try to be on more, buddy.
Yeah, I have strong intentions to do kind things, like watch people's streams.
And it's the thought that counts. So,
is it?
But yeah. Well, I mean, hey, because look, it's the thought that counts. It's not just a saying; it's a slogan. So,
and you know, there's famous physicists out there that will say, just look at the world, look at the universe, and it's nothing but mostly death and harsh reality for humanity. And then they'll get down and they'll say, and look at the suffering in the world, and look at the babies, and look at the hunger, and look at the this and that. And
look at the babies. One of these things is not like the other. Like, what?
Look at the babies. Look at the suffering.
Like, I hope this guy doesn't have kids. Like, what? Hey, Fox.
I love his confidence. Oh, Fox is doing a barrel roll.
See, I didn't even have to say it. I appreciate that. I was about to. But then I was like, nah, that'd be lame. So thank you for saying the lame thing for me.
Try speed compulsions.
Ooh. The running joke from earlier about people just like other of our viewers just randomly starting streams in the middle of our show. You wouldn't do that to me, Jamie. But
this is also
Jimmy,
spooky, like
not Jamie. Jimmy. Jamie wouldn't do that to me either. Whoever Jamie is, but yeah,
that's also spooky. Passive aggressively patting himself on the back for still being here.
Right. But yeah, baby. I mean, I was about to say I've had 2 babies, but like no, I have 2 children. Like their mother had the babies in that sense, and I was around for both. And I'll just say she was not having a good time.
Especially when she was in labor and we went to go get scotch. That is happened and seemed like a good idea at the time.
Well, her contractions had literally just started and she okayed it, by the way. So,
but you know how many women have heard that story and have not cared when you said that she okayed it? It's like that doesn't even matter.
Well, hey, look, all I care about was she wasn't mad at me about it. Now, she found plenty of other things to be mad at me for, but that's a whole other story. Anyway, but that was not one of them. So yeah, babies. I mean, there is a lot of suffering that goes on with having babies, sure, but yeah,
and
that was
keeping them.
Yeah,
like, I mean, you know, poop.
oh, the poop, and in so many various forms that you did not know that poop came in, but in volumes and frequencies and velocity.
Dude, we're still changing poop diapers at my house.
Yeah,
it has been 10 years.
Well, hey,
I don't want to know how many poop diapers that is. All I know is we should have bought stock in especially the pull-up companies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that is one thing I don't think I've ever heard the parent of a child in diapers ever say is, I think we have too many diapers. That's just not a thing.
You can, like, when they're little, you can have too many of the wrong size because they shoot through those sizes.
That's true. But okay, having the baby isn't so bad thanks to modern pharmaceuticals. Yes, if you take them. But
yeah, my wife didn't, and then she decided she wanted to, but she was already too far along in labor, and they're like, we can't do it now. And she's like, what? But that's how I threw my back out, like, really bad the first time, was holding her up while she was bearing down, and I felt my back go, oh no! And then, like, 2 days later, the only way I could get anywhere in the apartment was hunched over on my stomach on the seat of a rolly chair. And
I vaguely remember that. Yeah. Not that I was there, but I remember you talking about it. Yeah. Anyway.
That might have been when my disc bulged for the first time.
Ooh.
And then later, herniated.
Memories. They grow so fast.
I had to learn how to walk again.
They all grow so fast. The babies, the vertebral discs, whatever. Yeah, anyway.
So they judge God by what's going on the planet.
Hold on.
They judge God.
They judge God.
By what's going on the planet.
Yeah, imagine that. What? Judging a person by how things are going on the thing that they created. It's almost like judging the boss of a company by how their company's doing. But
or like where the Bible says you will know by their fruits.
Yeah.
I mean,
but also, speaking of international views on it, how's it going, Kip?
Delicate as always, Kip Davis.
Welcome in, my friend.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys are taking that in Canada, but the way we're interpreting it here, I think no matter what side you're on, is this doesn't get better.
Yeah. So yeah, get out your popcorn. We may be getting Civil War Part 2.
I mean, because all right, this is a short tangent. National Guard was deployed in DC because screen name Big Balls, former employee of Doge, was beat up by children, which is super sad for him.
Yep. If only he was Elijah.
And so, if that was the trigger event for troops going into DC, what happens when one of the biggest talking heads on the right is assassinated? We don't know. We'll all find out together.
Yeah, speaking of finding out, as Jimmy says, yeah, I don't judge fictional characters. Yeah, just like we were saying. I judge Christians who think it's okay for humans to suffer. What the fuck is this guy? He's hilarious.
Oh, one more comment about the Charlie Kirk thing. There's a lot of stuff that's happening in our country right now that, like, there's two versions. There's, like, the left version, which is kind of exaggerated version of the facts. You've got, like, the far right version, which is kind of exaggerated version of the facts. And then you've got, like, what's actually happening. And, like, we need the narratives to not take off on their own and get their own life because, sure, National Guard troops are in D.C. There's also not enough of them there to do anything. Same thing with Chicago, the troops they have in the next state over. I forget what the fuck state is that, Iowa or some shit. I forget what's on the other side of Illinois' border, the Mississippi River there.
It's Iowa, I think. Yeah.
So we've got Texas National Guard there ready to go into Chicago. But again, it's not enough to actually do anything. So really what we're watching happen is this is the TV show that Trump wants to watch. It doesn't matter if it's real or not. What matters is, like, whether or not he likes the show. So
yeah,
a lot of this is a big act. Some terrible things are happening, like with Charlie Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
a lot of it is just bullshit.
Right. And I will say, like, this is not me, like, reprimanding anyone or getting, but just I guess before the comments start going more like in this direction, like we said earlier, like, we're not like celebrating the death of Charlie. Like, neither of us were fans of him at all. In fact, quite the opposite. But,
also, we live in an authoritarian country, and the NSA does monitor everything in social media. They have done that for like 10 years or something.
at least. Yeah.
Never really used it for anybody except when they're trying to find criminals super fast. But
yeah. So
the framework is there. So
yeah. So yeah, and also this is not me telling anyone else how to think or feel about it, but just so you know, like, this is not the we're gonna celebrate this event stream.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he had a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. So no matter what I think of his awful ideas and him as not as a person necessarily, but as the work he did and the harm that it led to, I can't celebrate 2 little kids not knowing their dad.
Yeah. And yeah. Anyway, but so yeah. Thanks, Big Spooky.
Friend from across the pond.
With friends like you, who needs this guy?
Oh, you guys
That's
will have
a
yours.
Luciferian perspective. To look at the state of humanity, blame it on God, and judge God as evil or not trustworthy or of low character because of the state of humanity is a Luciferian mindset.
It's almost as if he like made us and is completely responsible for how we are. Kind of like so okay.
Mindset. This guy doesn't know. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
It's also the atheist mindset. He doesn't even start talking about them.
I mean, it's just a logical mindset. Like we said, like we say things like, you know, the buck stops here, or with great power comes great responsibility, then how much more so like with ultimate power becomes ultimate responsibility? Like if you make a thing like God apparently made like the universe and all of reality, if you make a thing from scratch exactly how you wanted it, and you set everything up so that everything works a certain way, and that therefore the way you set it up, the consequences for certain actions are going to be this, and like all like so on and so on, like you are responsible for all this. So so for anyone to say like I'm going to hold God responsible for how things turn out, like that's just reasonable. Like so if that's what Luciferian means.
He even said he was responsible for everything, including evil in that one book, which I can't remember the name of every time.
Yeah, God did. Yeah, it's also Isaiah, I think. I form light and create the dark. I do something.
I confuse that with Ezekiel
evil
all the time. Isaiah and Ezekiel.
It might have been Ezekiel. It's one of those two. Kip, if you're still in the chat, let us know where it is that God brags.
He just dropped in to be the bearer of news.
News.
I was going to say.
Yes. Thank you, Kip.
This is how we have fun in the new America: is sarcasm and omitted words.
Fuck.
Presumes that knowledge and self-improvement is more virtuous than God's way, and so
yeah. Am I? It's like I'm learning that I'm a Luciferian tonight.
I know, me too.
At least based on this guy's definition.
And if not everybody here has watched Antibot.
Oh yeah,
Genetically Modified Skeptic's wife. She has that channel, and she had a video recently where she was talking about why she's a Satanist, and it was kind of like a testimony. And she is more of like a Luciferian Satanist, because she does some like ritualistic stuff, it was very informative. Eric and anybody watch it, he wants to know more about like why somebody would do witchy stuff.
Right. Yeah, but also good point here by Fox. According to that book, though, when God decides to be accountable, humans need snorkeling gear or a bigger boat.
I know. It make so much sense that our president blames everyone else for his shortcomings? Because it's literally we elected the avatar of the belief system that built the country.
Yeah, this is why, like, when people say things like, "Oh, Trump claims to be a Christian, he claims to believe in God," like, I wish he would like finally start acting like it. Like, have you read the Bible? Like, Trump's doing a pretty good impression. So
the problem is Luciferianism has this poor theology of God being in control of everything, and so you hear the typical.
Wait. Hold on. I need to hear that again.
Theology of God being.
Hold on. Let me back up a little bit.
Luciferianism has this poor theology of God being in control of everything, and
the poor theology of. I want to see what he says after that to see if it helps, because that.
So you hear the typical phrase, if God's supposed to be all good and all knowing, given the condition of the world, then he's either not all good or he's not all knowing. And that
people usually say all powerful, but yeah, all knowing fits in there as well.
Yeah. Argument seems to kind of give that person the moral high ground over the view of God that they've heard.
See, it seems like that because it does.
I'm snorting a lot tonight.
But okay, so the poor theology that God is in control of everything is, so he's basically saying that to think that God is in control of everything is poor theology.
Well, it's Luciferian theology, apparently.
So
but then,
apparently,
why even be Luciferian if you think God is in control of everything? Then, like valuing the characteristics of Lucifer would be a giant waste of time because nothing matters because God's in control. This doesn't make any sense. I'm super impressed that he's thought through this, and this is where he landed.
Yeah, it's like it takes effort to be this fucking wrong about stuff. This
also
this is really something.
He's talking about Luciferianism, and by the way, I'm really frustrated with how he's pronouncing it. Anyway,
how's he pronouncing it?
I can't even do it.
Well, here, let's back him up. Maybe he...
Luciferianism, I think.
Let's see.
And that argument seems to kind of give that person the moral high ground. And you hear the typical phrase, if God's supposed to be all good.
Yeah, I didn't go back far enough, so I'm not going to worry about it now.
But he's dwelling on Luciferianism compared to Satanism. He kind of breezed right over Satanism, probably because he doesn't have a distinction between the two. But I also wonder if Luciferianism, because the characteristics of that were personal growth, freedom of will, and the pursuit of enlightenment. I think I'm getting the vibe that he finds that one the most appealing so far. And so this is him coming up with reasons why it's bad. Talking himself out of it. Because that's what Christian churches do. Like, it's a lot about personal growth. It's a lot about personal choice, freedom of will. It's a lot about the pursuit of enlightenment. Like, why do you go to Sunday service to get enlightened by the pastor? Like,
and because the personal choice thing, like he's literally saying God is not in control of everything. Like it is like our personal choices influence things. This guy might be a Luciferian.
Yeah, but not in his
maybe, or maybe he's like intentionally like pronouncing it that way because it has the word fear in it, like Luciferian. Like,
oh, I see why he's doing it.
Subliminal messaging, whether he realizes it or not. But yes, as Fox says, I'm sure he'll say it again. So watch out for it, folks. Like, let us know. I feel like this is like an episode of like Blue's Clues or something. Let us know when you hear the secret code word. Or one of those. I don't know if that was a Blue's Clue. Just point it out when you see it, kids. Anyway.
Seems to kind of give that person the moral high ground over the view of God that they've heard.
Yeah, again, because it does. But so sorry, I should let him keep going because I have thoughts there, but I want to see if what he says next helps at all or not.
But here's the truth. Here's the reality. God is love. The one true God, Jehovah, the Father of Christ, whom Jesus revealed. Jesus came into the world as a son of this Father, and the Holy Spirit binds us all together. That one true God is just and pure and holy.
You see, because we've defined him that way, and we say it, therefore that's real.
Yeah. I think this is where he starts to do that thing where his answers are just, here's what we say, well, therefore it's true. Like this.
Yeah, because it seems like... So, sorry, I'm going to back him up a little more because I just want to hear like how he phrased this.
Of God being in control of everything. And so, you hear the typical phrase, if God's supposed to be all good and all knowing, given the condition of the world, then he's either not all good or he's not all knowing.
Or all powerful.
And that argument seems to kind of give that person the moral high ground over the view of God that they've heard. Mm-hmm. But here's the truth. Here's the reality. God is love. The one true God, Jehovah.
Oh yeah. So it seems to be like his problem is he's basically saying like this view that these like Luciferians or atheists or whoever have of God basically views God as not being loving or just therefore it's wrong. Because we know, like, any view of God that is anything other than completely perfect must be wrong. So it's like,
Yep.
but that's it. No actual arguments or evidence of why God actually is that way. It's like, look, we know that God is perfect, so anyone who says he's not, they're clearly wrong. That's really all that boils down to.
Because we're right.
But
that's his argument.
yeah. But Jimmy, again, spitting facts. No lies detected. And I love your use of the word nincompoop. People don't use that word enough. So thanks for keeping it alive, buddy. So.
Jehovah, the Father of Christ, whom Jesus revealed. Jesus came into the world as a son of this Father, and the Holy Spirit binds us all together.
Sorry, like that, like past, like rambling stream of consciousness there. To me, it totally sounded like he's like, well, I'm talking about God, and it's almost like his brain is just like, there's certain words I need to fit in here so everyone knows my theology is correct. It was just like,
no,
theological brain vomit.
Yeah, he does that.
Like God, he's the son of the Father who's loving, and then there's the Spirit, and
he does it several more times where it comes across like a calming chant, with like a thought-stopping, calming thing, and he does one later where it's super obvious, where it you can tell he disengaged from what he was saying a little bit. Like he was not consciously interacting with what he was saying.
Yeah, he kind of got himself off track. Not that we do that all the time, but
yeah, in a way, I kind of feel bad for him because
yeah,
he's in a loop. But it's where he wants to be.
Good for him, I guess.
I saw this with like somebody in my family who was a Trumper. I think less so now. I hope. No, they made a comment. Seems like maybe they're questioning, and I'm like, could you speed up? Like, I'm starting to think he's not a good person. Okay. All right. Well, the rest of us will be waiting when you get there.
And as Fox says, yeah, just hitting the keywords for this divine algorithm.
Yep.
Yeah, got to make sure his next.
There's this thing where
prayer / summoning works properly. Yeah,
they don't. There's this thing where there's this category of people they don't care what's actually true. They just want what they believe is true to be their reality. But they don't really care what's really true. And so something really breaking through that is a threat. The truth is bad unless it's what they agree with.
Yep.
Anyway, Clint has more wisdom, question mark.
Let's find out together.
That one true God is just and pure and holy. And here's the truth. He is not controlling the circumstances of this world.
Oh, you see, so just like earlier, we just say he's perfect in all these things. Now I'm just saying all the bad stuff isn't his fault.
I wonder whose fault it is.
No.
Whose fault is
it? The reason the world looks like it does, the reason that there's death and destruction and injustice and hunger and childhood cancer and slavery and all those kinds of things is because God gave mankind dominion over this planet for a temporary period of time, and we have allowed these things.
Who did that?
Yeah,
Who did that?
Was that a good idea for him to do that? Clearly not.
Well, clearly, because he's just and pure and perfect. Because he said so. Has he never watched any movie where the villain explains why they did something and why they think they're the good guy? Like, he's watched a Marvel movie.
Or James Bond or something. Like,
because the Crispians love to get off on the Marvel patriotic, like, good guys can do whatever, like in whatever that like Eastern European country where they just like flatten a ton of buildings in one of the Avengers movies. and there were like it didn't matter that there were people in them, and it wasn't part of the story. I was like, holy shit, this is a Bible story.
All right, so all right. Well, I'm. Looks like you're about like good timing. Looks like, so. I'm moving on to second drink, which is same as the first. Good old zombie dust.
Your turn
Again,
this because I gotta go get a beer.
Like, yeah, this is not like I said. This is like the zombie dust, like the death theme. This is not for today's events. This is. I bought this beer over the weekend because if for those of you who weren't around for this, this past Sunday, September 7th, was my 4-year anniversary of being in remission from stage 4 cancer. So I was basically celebrating not being dead. And I was like, what's a good beer for that?
How many years? 7, you said?
4.
4.
Yeah.
That was not even a multiple of 4.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, congratulations on not being dead again.
Yeah. I try. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Jippy. Like, especially so my cancer was a melanoma. So it's like most skin cancers, probably caused by the sun. And who made the sun to emit harmful UV rays, and who made my skin susceptible to said harmful UV rays and the damage that it does and mutations that it causes to the melanocytes and like
Lucifer.
Like especially this is the thing that gets me about like I'm gonna get on my little mini soapbox here for a second. This whole like when people talk about like
we need to get you a tiny soapbox to actually stand on.
Oh, that would be so adorable. But people talk about like they'll use words like chemicals or artificial to mean like bad, but then they'll use natural as like, oh, good. Like, well, from my anecdotal experience, like the all natural, probably organic sun almost killed me. The only thing that saved me was artificial man-made pharmaceutical chemicals from a lab. So don't buy into the chemophobia hype, folks. It's bullshit. And also, from my opinion, like human beings, like we're part of nature, so therefore anything we do is natural. Like people consider like if birds build nests, beavers build dams, like they consider that nature. Like, well, okay, things that we make are nature as well. Anyway,
it's weird how we separate ourselves out like that.
Yeah, right. But thanks, Fox. I appreciate that.
All right, so my beer on theme again. Jackie O's Dark Apparition Imperial Stout. It's very good.
But yes, nature kills pretty regularly. Yeah, it seems to be its thing.
According to our old pastor, hovering around right around 100%. It's a Jesus resurrection joke, you see.
Hovering right around. Yeah, it's around there. It's like 0.99, like with Repetend or whatever it is. All right.
I mean, Lazarus came back, but then he died again, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably.
So, how great was that trick? I mean,
yeah, it's like, thanks. Yeah, it's almost like, hooray, we freed you from prison, but we're going to throw you back in later. It's like, okay, thanks.
Glad you did this cool show for you and your needs.
To make you look cool. Yeah.
Justice that you would attribute to God because you have this perspective that God's in control. Really,
this perspective, you have this perspective that God's in control. And honestly, how dare you? Like, I'm still in disbelief that like that is the angle that he's taking. He's literally saying God isn't in control of everything. Like, okay, but because like you said, even if his way out of this, like, well, God gave us control. Okay, but that was still God's decision. I mean, that's like me saying, like, so I have 2 teenagers. So let's just say I put like one of them in charge of like paying all the bills. But let's say like my 14-year-old, he's 14 now. Let's say I put my 14-year-old who's like very ADHD riddled, like in charge of paying all the bills. And he like misses a bunch and we get like delinquent on a bunch and like the lights are turned off and we have no water anymore, like people would still be very justly upset with me, because it's not like I could say, well, I put him in charge, and they're like, yeah, that's the problem, you put him in charge. Like, this does not get God off the hook. Like, I do not understand why people think that it does.
He put people in charge who know how to do evil. I mean,
yeah. So it's basically God said, "Oh, so this creation that I made, designed, ground up, gave them like their nature, their tendencies, their desires, and again, I set up the whole system that if they do things a certain way, this is what the consequences are going to be, and I know what those consequences are going to be because I'm all knowing, so I know what they're going to do. I know exactly how this is going to turn out, aka get totally fucked up. But I'm going to do it anyway, but it's not my fault." Like, how does that actually make sense to anybody?
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoy the God doesn't do shit theodicy. That's, I want to hear Bill Craig talk about that one.
I mean, because the Bible literally disagrees.
Yeah.
Also,
It's
the things that we call evil are just survival techniques that people use that are very selfish. Like, it's survival at the expense of someone else. War. Huh. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again.
So now I'm wondering, like, God, what is he good for?
Hey, you want to hear a fun fact?
I do.
Okay, so the military. I wish I remembered who it was that released it, but it's basically the style guide that gets released for the U.S. military. It's kind of like, here's where we're going to military. It's kind of like here are the regions of the world we're preparing for conflicts in. The last one was a shift to China. Makes sense. Away from the Middle East, because like we're bad at doing things in the Middle East. So we're like, cool, let's take that knowledge and apply it to China. But it just came out that the U.S. military is going to be focused on domestic and regional issues, which means our military is preparing to fight Canada, Mexico, and the American people.
So look out, Kip.
So Russia...
Get those moose ready.
Russia sent like 19 dummy drones at Poland, which is their decoy drones without warheads. But that's still an act of war because they're testing. It's an attack in quotes to test Poland's response. They only shot down the ones that were going to hit anything important. And the response has been tepid. Meanwhile, Trump's response was basically, "Oh boy, here we go." And so so everybody else is on their own in the world. Europe doesn't have enough anything to do anything against Russia. But Russia's military is in the crapper. Their economy is tanking. Literally the only way their economy can stay afloat is if they attack more people, because the economy is held up by wartime efforts. Like, that's what's propping it up. So America has recoiled from everything outside of itself. Super protectionist / Mexico and Canada. The allies are bad now. Anyway, all right, that was my little brain rant.
Yeah. All right. I feel like I need to. Well, I guess maybe we both need to work on letting this guy actually talk more.
Right, yeah, we should.
I mean, it was so nice of him to show up this evening. We should probably let him talk. So
the moral high ground gets taken because the Luciferian in his heart, and even the atheist in his heart, or those who rebel against God, would say, if I were God, I would do this. If I were God, there'd be no childhood cancer.
Okay, sometimes we say that, but more often than not, like from my experience, the critique is not so much I'm saying this is what God should do because this is what I would do. Like, no, it's because in other parts of the Bible, that's where God says what should be done.
Yeah.
So,
And
to me, like,
if God is who he says God is, other Christians also, then God would do this. We're pointing that out. Like,
right. That's why, like, my personal favorite, like, one of my critiques, like, involving, like, the problem of evil, theodicies, whatever, that I think makes the case, like look, I can explain why the problem of evil is a problem, but only using the Bible and using 6 words from 1 John 4. God is love, right? Mm-hmm. So, and from what I hear most Christians say, if you want to define love, the Bible tells you what love is, because we can't just decide for ourselves what love means. So
yeah,
we want to know, like, what does it mean?
Love.
Yeah. So what does it mean that God is love? Okay, what does that mean? Well, we go to like the famous love passage in 1 Corinthians 13, where like love is patient, love is kind, all this stuff. One of the things it says is love always protects. So if you're going to tell me that God is love and love always protects, then I'm like, okay, then explain this shit. How the fuck can you look around what's going on in the world and tell me that God loves everyone and therefore he's protecting everyone? You can't.
Yeah.
Therefore, problem of evil.
And Jimmy, he says he assumes a bunch of things about atheists aren't necessarily true. I think it feels like what he's doing is looking at what he perceives atheists as saying. It's like, for what I believe to still be true, they must be doing this.
Right. Exactly. I mean, that's apologetics. That's really all it is. So
there'd be no animal suffering. There'd be no malnutrition and food insecurities. If I were God, I would, fill in the blank. That's a Luciferian mindset. That is the lie that the enemy, the serpent, brought into the garden and caused Adam and Eve to try to discern and judge good and evil, not right.
So the lie is that children shouldn't starve, and that's how the world should be run? Like, is it?
Because the serpent said you will not surely die, and they didn't. I don't understand. He's weaving together just the worst quilt.
This guy is a terrible Christian. It's like we shouldn't expect an all-loving God to like actually love people. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
I think half his brain is Luciferian. And he's trying to reconcile it together, and he's just saying things that aren't biblically accurate, and like, sir.
Yeah, here's the thing: like, they aren't
went
biblically.
To school to be a pastor. You know these things aren't true that you're saying.
Did he go to school though for this? Not all pastors do, unfortunately.
I get the distinct impression he is some kind of Baptist.
Yeah, is it the accent? I would say Luciferian. It's almost like he has that. It's basically his theology is really just based on whatever gets God off the hook. That's what must be true.
Yeah.
Whether or not the Bible actually says it, and if the Bible doesn't say it, then that's when they tell, oh, you're interpreting that wrong, or you're pulling that out of context, or like. Ugh.
I think some people have other live streams on at the same time. His chat has died down since the 1.5-hour mark.
I mean, Jimmy's still out there, or at least he was a few minutes ago. Yeah, man, this is like hitting all of like my like autistic things must be accurate.
I know, isn't it amazing?
Yeah. So let's let him continue.
Wrong, but good and evil for themselves. when they didn't even really realize that they were already like God, because that was the
Wait. Now, first of all, I need to point out, like, I'm also getting distracted because my computer, like, it's apparently still running fine, but it started doing this thing recently where, like, literally, like, every time I'm hitting play and pause, this, like, little, like, alert window is popping up saying, like, this app does not run on this PC. I'm like,
false.
like, it clearly is, but stop telling me that every damn time. But, all right, but let's... Also at work, hey, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
And
also, what Jimmy is saying is he's for sure 2 people are here.
yes. Thanks, Jimmy. I mean, by my count, like there are more than 2 people watching right now. So hey,
I don't have a count on my side. I don't know why.
No. Yeah, I got more than 2. I don't know why I don't want to say the number. It's 5, but small but mighty. That's what she said. Channel. All right. Hey, take whatever encouragement I can get.
when they didn't even really realize that they were already like God, because that was the lie the serpent said, as soon as you eat of this, you'll be like God.
Okay, but again, like we said earlier, that's also what God said. God said, once they eat of it, now they are like us, or me, or whoever. So, like, what Bible is he reading? Like, is Genesis different in like the Catholic Bible? Because like I grew up Protestant, so like is like the Ethiopian Coptic Bible have a different Genesis? Like the Catholics have a different, like, this guy seems Protestant to me. That's what I'm assuming he is.
Yeah.
But like,
he's
what
got a weird collection of things he's trying to reconcile together.
Yeah, like,
I kind of want to be his biggest fan. I do kind of feel like his deconstruction just started.
Or it's like happening like right now.
Right.
Like,
yeah. I'm like, dude, part of you knows you're making no sense right now.
Oh, man.
But really what they did is they became like a God and recognized that they had the capacity of sin within themselves.
So a God is still God, right?
Wait, and like a God with the capacity to sin within themselves. Like, so gods can sin.
So this is, I don't think I've ever heard this, that like,
no,
apparently the fall made us gods. Yeah, reading might be a little generous. It seems like he's going by memory of something he heard in a church some time ago.
Maybe he can't read.
But he's a What's that?
Maybe he can't read. That would explain a lot.
But that's the thing. He's a pastor, so he should be hearing himself in church. So like, is he like remembering some dumb bullshit he said years ago? Is like, I remember somebody saying this.
That'd be a good question. That'd be a good comment.
Like, but he didn't
online. You're like, do you hear yourself right now?
But he was probably like, man, I remember someone saying that, but it was really like him, like on a sermon on Sunday morning when he was like super hungover from like the night before, just saying like whatever bullshit.
Yeah, like, Zeus sending all over the Greek landscape, like sending in people.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know what this gesture was, but to me it just felt like that would work for the things. Ugh. We're not even halfway through this bullshit.
I know.
But back to the point about why the world is in the condition that it's in. It's because God, I
just want to pause it there. Like, the condition the world's in, it's because God. There. All right.
Oh, and I like how he's doing God. God is small, about the size of a volleyball.
Like, now God is up his nose.
That's the bogey sugar.
Why the world is in the condition that it's in. It's because God, in and of himself, who is sovereign and exists in the heavens.
Yeah. Like that didn't make it better. Him continuing like
he was like,
it
it's
didn't-
because God. And then he paused. It's like what's his nuts? The last stream where he was like, basically you can't think. And then he paused. It's like their brains are telling on them.
Oh, but I want to hear that again.
But back to the point about why the world is in the condition that it's in. It's because God, in and of himself, who is sovereign and exists in the heavenlies and is pure and incorruptible, in him there is no darkness, neither shadow of turning. He's perfect and light and good and everything that is, and everything that is good, and he is love at its core. Like if you could take,
it's like, dude, just tell God you have a crush on him. Seriously, it's
he's back in autopilot again, where he's just listing off words. Also, how I can't get my hands to do what's happening for him without getting like pretty close to the camera. I don't. He has a weird camera.
Yeah.
Of whatever substance God is and put it under a microscope, it's life, light, and love.
Oh, so you can put God under a microscope.
Light, life, and love. Come on, sir. There's no Bible verse for that. You would need a Bible verse for that. If you're going to say something that explicitly, you can't just grab like 3 from different places and say, he is this because these words were in different places about him. And like,
I just love how you called him sir right there.
I know, I love how patronizing that sounds.
It's like, and I love, it's like your brain was like, I want to call him something, but this is the only thing that's not just like fuckwad or stuff like that. It's like, sir, okay, we'll go with that, sure.
Also, I know in person he would like that and it would irritate him.
Yeah, that's like that. Yes, just calling someone sir like that. It's like that meme of like the guy at like KFC who just has like the empty KFC bucket at the soda fountain, filling it up with Pepsi, and just someone just typed sir. It's like that kind of sir.
And there's a personality to it, and he cares about humanity. And so
he cares about our show. Oh,
that's good. That's good.
He made humanity in his image to rule and reign in this earth like he rules and reigns in the heavenly dimension.
I think we just got promoted.
So does he?
Are we in charge now?
Did God not eat the right fruit also?
Ooh, see, God should have eaten it, and then he'd be awesome like us.
Or did he want to and he didn't? Is it like the Mormon God, where it's like a nesting doll of gods, where everybody becomes potentially their own god of their own planet somewhere?
Ooh,
and
I could be down with that.
Like our God is just another Latter-day Saint from like Venus 3.
I love how like Clint here, he looks like he just made like an awesome point, and he's like waiting for one of us to give him a high five. He's like, come on, dude, don't leave me hanging. That was awesome. So
I have not seen him. I'm not Clint, I'm concerned for your happiness level. He has not seemed happy at any point. But he does this a lot.
I heard he made 2 manatees. Okay, I need to back up, see if I hear that too. Let's listen for that.
And so he made humanity in his image to rule and reign in this earth like he rules and reigns in the heavenly dimension.
I do prefer that as he made 2 manatees to rule here on earth. That would explain so much. Like if there's just like a couple manatees in charge of everything,
I'd be okay with that. They seem pretty chill.
Yeah, I for one welcome our blubbery lords.
I mean, their one true weakness is propellers, but It reminds me of Birdman, how like the sun gave him all his power, so if you just locked him in a closet, he was useless.
I'm sorry, you just killed me with the propellers, like the manatees.
I just pictured like an anime propeller demon. Like that's like the manatee Satan.
New lore just dropped. All right. So, okay.
I've been watching some Demon Slayer. That's why.
Thanks, Fox. Tell your friends.
Also, the Japanese version of Demons is messed up.
Mm.
And that's not because of the nuclear bomb. Like this.
Yeah, this predates that.
Yeah.
This was not our fault.
It makes a lot more sense as a caricature of like twisted human beings.
Yeah, making me lightheaded. Either that, or I'm drinking and forgot to eat dinner.
It's witchcraft.
It's like it could be anything. Could be anything.
And there's supposed to be this collaboration, not this cold, distant separation where he put us down here as some kind of science experiment. You know, you listen to a lot of Christian preaching, a lot of denominationalism, and you know, just different views. Kind of has this view of God that God doesn't really care about us that much. He doesn't like a lot of us. He barely can tolerate us. Humanity is kind of a stench in his nostrils.
About the sacrifices.
Yeah, and can you believe some denominations think that God doesn't like us? Even after our Bible literally says like he flooded the entire fucking earth because he couldn't take us anymore. It's like
I always find it really hilarious when Christians who aren't Catholic talk about denominations being demon nations and all that shit. Like, have you ever heard somebody say that? Denomination sounds like demon nation.
Well, yeah, if you say it wrong.
If you're not Catholic, you're literally in a denomination. Like, that's how Protestantism works.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite memes is like two people and like with the word bubbles like introducing themselves to each other. So that's why. So this is why this. So it sounds like this guy probably identifies as non-denominational, but where it's like he sounds Baptist because like this meme says, like this one person says to the other, "Hi, I'm non-denominational. How about you?" And the other person says, "Oh, hi, lying Baptist. I'm Lutheran."
Yeah, Baptist for the people. That's non-denominational.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, but as Fox says, if this is collaboration, God seems to be not participating.
I know, man. This is.
Yeah, God is acting.
I would love to write a paper on like what's going on in this guy's head that all these things make sense.
Yeah, basically, God is acting like me in college on a group project in my biology class.
And I love how he called it like denominationalism or however he said it. Like he defined it as different ideas.
Yeah,
you know, different ideas, different than you. Neat.
Yeah, but let's hear that again.
You know, just different views. Kind of has this view of God that God doesn't really care about us that much. He doesn't like a lot of us. He barely can tolerate us. Humanity.
Well, I mean, you don't send someone to hell if you like them. So
no, you do if you love them, because he's love. And so people go to hell because that is God loving their free will choice to go to hell and stay in hell.
Right. That is why when my children were young and they just wanted to run out in the middle of the street,
you let them.
No, here's the thing. I was not loving.
Oh, I see.
I stopped them.
That was you being selfish.
And right? Yeah, me being selfish for having kids that are alive. I know. It's like,
how dare you? God wanted to kill them.
And look, and they're still surviving to this day, and so every day it just hurts that much more. Like what?
I know. Your mistake, man.
It's kind of a stench in his nostrils. But because he made us, then he has to do some kind of legality to provide for us a way of salvation and a way out. But it's like, no, God created us with a very high view, a very high level of dignity and worth.
Says us.
And he
Also, I just a minute ago, I don't know if you noticed, but like I accidentally tapped my earbud and it played the video. So I now realized I can do that. So I'm going to be doing that. So if you see me like hitting my ear, that's
You
what
have
I'm
magic
doing.
ears.
I know, but because it's quieter than the mouse click. I don't know if y'all can notice it, but like when I go back and like watch our episodes, which I do from time to time, but like I can hear myself clicking the mouse and it kind of bugs me. But
Yeah, I can hear myself turn the mute button off on my mic, but I still do it.
So yeah, so I just like made myself lose all train of thought here. But Fox has a comment, so we'll go with that. We put all this work into a group project, and God shows up with 2 popsicle sticks glued together and staples a doll to it 2,000 years ago.
Wait, can we put that on a shirt? And right after that, we say, and all I got was this T-shirt.
That is quite possibly the greatest description of the crucifixion I have ever seen. That is fucking amazing.
By the way, I still really, really like the Clue mashup with Jesus on the cross.
Oh,
And it gets funnier as it loops.
Right?
Like, I just laugh harder every time I watch it.
Well, hey, speaking of which...
Ellie!
He was always a rather stupidly optimistic man. I mean, I'm afraid it came as a great shock to him when he died.
The juxtaposition of the music and then dead silence and then like her like biting sarcasm.
And then especially, so yeah, go like we released that as a short on YouTube. So go back and watch it, because if you watch it as a short, as you know, it just keeps looping. So you can see those two.
Jesus gets funnier.
So let's see it again.
Ellie!
He was always a rather stupidly optimistic man. I mean, I'm afraid it came as a great shock to him when he died.
Oh, man. And it's not even theologically correct. I love it. Because he totally expected to have something happen to him.
Right.
Like, it's a great troll. Because Christians are going to be like, but that's not what happened.
Oh, but look, it's on YouTube now, so it totally is what I mean. You saw it's on video. That's what happened.
Oh, Madeline Kahn. Cancer took you too soon.
Mm-hmm. Man.
That movie is just a gold mine of clips.
Yeah, I mean things like this.
I hated her so much. It flames on the side of my face, heaving breath.
Martin Mull's face in the background. He's just so confused, and he slowly shakes his head back and forth, and you can't tell why he's shaking his head. Oh man, it's just brilliant actors.
Yeah, it's like everyone is having this look on their face, like, how long is she going to be doing this?
They're like, this is impressive.
Yeah, and also I love, like, meanwhile there's just like Yvette just dead on the pool table in the background as well. Yeah,
she's talking about how much she hated her. Also, Yvette was what introduced me to how sexy a maid costume could be. I think I was like 12 or some shit when I saw that movie for the first time, and I was like, I'm into this.
It's like, it's like this may have awakened something in me.
I was like, Her boobs are on a shelf, and that shelf is a maid costume. This is brilliant.
Right? Anyway. Well, hey, I think we're over halfway through.
Also, I'm pretty sure the actress who played Yvette went on to do nothing of import.
Well, she was dead, in her defense.
Oh, yeah. She was a pool table ornament at that point.
Anyway, I need to watch that movie again.
Gave us rulership over this planet. And we're the ones that introduced death. We're the ones that introduced sin. We're the ones that allow suffering.
But who created us?
How powerful are we that we're able to introduce things into the world that God didn't want?
Evil didn't exist until we made it.
Like, okay, here's the thing.
Dude,
like,
we made Lucifer. Lucifer should worship us.
yeah, Lucifer should be a me-Aryan.
Yeah. Humanitarian. That's what he should be.
But specifically me.
Actually, so. Lucifer is probably, well, according to Mel Gibson in The Passion of the Christ, Satan is a woman / man. It was an actress who played Satan with very clearly feminine features. It's that pissed off a lot of people for good reason. I didn't see it at the time, but now I look back and I'm like, that was pretty anti-trans.
Ooh.
Also, he's anti-Semitic. Like the real kind, not the kind that just thinks Palestinians shouldn't die.
Yeah. Because that's not anti-Semitic, but yeah.
Well, it is if you think it is. It is, but you're telling on yourself if you say that. But from a certain perspective, it is. And it's weird to people who have that perspective because they seem to be telling on themselves.
Yeah, a little bit. But anyway, back to this weird guy and his weird things that he says out of his face.
Shut up. He's my new best friend.
Yeah, because if you want to see what God wants, you look in the garden, and it's perfect. It's holy. It's mankind is in harmony with each other. They're in harmony with God. Everything that they need, they wake up, they tend the garden, they walk with God. God comes and speaks with them. That's perfection. That's the will of God. Then you see the end.
Okay, so apparently the will of God is showing up and talking with people. Yet I am told by so many Christians when I talk about how God doesn't seem apparent or existent at all, they're like, well, he's not going to just show up and talk to you. Like,
well, he
I'm going to have him talk
because
to Clint
sin
here.
entered the world, so he's got to keep his distance. But he doesn't keep his distance because of what Clint said earlier. So it's awesome how this doesn't make sense.
Right? Oh, but that's apologetics for you.
I kind of want to pick apart this whole video and like I want to list out like all the claims he's making about God, like as simply as possible, and see like just how many times he contradicts himself. It's like, Clint, stop making videos. You're not going to be a Christian for long.
Yeah. It's you'd love to see it though.
It's a good time.
When God brings about the restoration of all things, you see that the earth is restored back to harmony, back to perfection, this utopia, really. And then in the middle of all that, you see Jesus.
I'm going to back him up because I feel like there was something I wanted to comment, but I lost my train of thought.
Everything that they need, they wake up, they tend the garden, they walk with God, God comes and speaks with them. That's perfection. That's the will of God. Then you see the end when God brings about.
Okay, I never mind. But yeah, I think what I was going to say was, yeah, that just seems to be apologetics, where it's like they'll make their argument to defend like a certain like attack on Christianity or people's doubts about it or whatever. But it's like they're so myopic, like in their view on that one specific issue. So they'll throw whatever argument or theology or Bible verse or their just random thought, brain fart about God or whatever. Say, well, whatever solves this person's problem right now, but completely ignoring the other problems that it makes in other areas. So like, well, that doesn't matter. Like, we'll have our own contradictory apologetics to solve that problem. So it's all about just solve this problem here, right now, with
that's what
no
next
regard. Right. Exactly.
Yeah, tending the garden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tend my own garden. I mean, hey, times are hard, man.
I think my wife is reading the illustrated version of The Secret Garden because it's on our dining room table. And she reads so many books. I mean, doesn't always finish them. I mean, like, rarely finishes them. I hear about the ones she finishes because she tells me. She's proud of it. Yeah, The Secret Garden just sounds like a euphemism for adolescenthood.
Yes. And various aspects thereof. Yes.
About the restoration of all things. You see that the earth is restored back to harmony, back to perfection. This utopia, really. And then,
okay, so you're telling me that God can fix this, but he's just choosing to wait.
Because he loves us so much, he's going to wait until enough of us go to hell. But it also sounds like maybe we're all just kind of like on hiatus, and then at some point, like everybody goes to hell/heaven at the same time. But he can't get in the way of that. But that's what purgatory is for. Yeah. So that we can, if you're Catholic.
So essentially, the argument here is like Christians say, well, God can't just step in and make everything right, because eventually he's going to step in and make everything right.
It's just not time. It's not time yet. It's not awful enough yet. See, it has to get awful enough. And then Satan has to like rise up and like the Antichrist, and then it gets like super, super bad. And when it's the worst, then God is gonna like bring down the golden Borg cube of the New Jerusalem, and yeah.
Yep. Yes, apologetic playbook is to only patch the part of the boat you are looking at, and they are patching it with mesh. Yeah, that's the other problem. A lot of times, like the patch, like even in isolation, their arguments don't even necessarily actually make sense.
It's whatever they have to say to get people back into the circular thinking.
Yeah, I mean it's damage control. It's basically just throw whatever we have at this certain problem until it's no longer a problem. All other problems be damned.
And the crazy thing is, like, that thinking has either infected right politics in everywhere. I don't know what has infected what, but especially in our country, we're seeing that kind of thinking. Like, say whatever you need to say to get somebody back into the Trumpy thinking, and that's like all Fox News is.
Right. Yeah. Pretty much. All right.
God, we live in like just the dumbest parody.
All right, let's continue, Magic Ear.
In the middle of all that, you see Jesus. Jesus came showing us exactly what the Father is like. And
wait, in the middle of what?
Well, in the middle of the shit show.
Yeah, let's hear that again.
Utopia, really. And then in the middle of all that, you see Jesus. Wow. Jesus came showing us exactly what the Father is like. And he went about doing good and healing all that were...
So showing us exactly what the Father is like. So he's a sexist, racist. We'll talk about slavery, but not say it's bad. So apparently it's cool with slavery.
Here's how you do slavery better.
Yeah, or speaking of like bad things and like everything like we go through, like being like so God can show off and look good. So one of the stories that people love to tell to show like why Jesus was such a great guy, like when he like healed the blind man by like spitting in mud and putting it on his eyes. So first of all, like never mind the whole like weird magic spell thing that Jesus couldn't just make him see; he had to perform this little ritual thing. But all that aside, when I don't remember if it was that or just some other story of some dude had some kind of ailment. His disciples asked him like, "Oh, why is this guy suffering from this thing? Like, did he sin or did his parents sin that brought this about?" And Jesus like, "Oh, it wasn't because of any of them sinned." Like so basically people just take that and then they skip over this next very important part and just go to him like healing him. So it's like, "Oh, he's saying like these things aren't about being like us being punished for anything."
Yeah.
But then he heals him. Wasn't that great? But the part they don't really talk about as much is when he says, "No, like no, he's not being punished for his sin or his parents' sin, but this is so." I don't remember his exact words, but basically like something like so like the Father's glory can be revealed or whatever. So basically, so he can show off. So basically, we're supposed to think it's nice that this person like had to suffer through blindness for their entire life up until this point, just so God can show off and we think he's cool. It's like that's not better. Like
Yeah. And also the whole like spitting in the dirt thing, like like mixing water with earth for clay reasons was also like not okay on the Sabbath. And so it was kind of a like political statement in a way.
Yeah.
No,
but also fuck them fig trees. So
yeah, he cursed that fig tree. Also,
yeah,
it was the wrong time of year for figs to be on a tree. And so Jesus was like, either that's Jesus being stupid or
yeah. Well, see, here's the thing, like, because the scripture even says it wasn't the season, so that makes me think like it wasn't. There is supposed to be something deeper there that
we don't.
So that's not so. Yeah, but as Jimmy, like noted African American, says slavery, and people have the unmitigated gall to ask me why I am not a Christian. I'm like, are you serious? I think that's how you pronounce that. No, I think that's actually Smurf in Hebrew. They don't have the vowels.
I get it. But where's the accent marks? I don't know how to do it now.
Yeah, Kip, where'd you go?
Where's the Hebrew umlauts? Oh my god, that would really piss off certain people.
Yeah.
Oh man.
A few. Anyway.
Kip would laugh.
Rest of the enemy.
And never
he set people free from condemnation. He bore our sin.
Kip would laugh and never repeat it.
That's what we go for, I think. Jesus was just an entitled Karen who wanted some figs. It's like, I want to speak to your manager, Tree. Wait, I'm your manager.
Some overly seedy fruit.
Yeah, it's like, wait, I'm your manager. Cursed. There.
Hey.
Oppressed of the enemy. He set people free from condemnation. He bore our sins. He bore our diseases. He became our sin, which is what separated us from God, destroyed the power of sin, passed into the grave as humanity on behalf of humanity, and overcame hell and outer darkness on our behalf. And he remained faithful to what God had promised him all throughout the prophetic nature of time and history, which that's really kind of a whole.
So God promised it to him, but he's still God.
Yeah.
But God still had to promise him stuff, and he had to be obedient to himself.
Also, just until like a second ago, did you notice like his speech pattern was very like rhythmic? That's more of that like thought calming stuff.
Ah, yes. But what the whole like Jesus being obedient to God, especially like him being obedient to himself, and they say like, "It's this wonderful thing." Like this wonderful thing about it, like people don't seem that impressed when I obey myself. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
You remember when
Anyway.
at our old church? I don't know if you heard this. I don't know if you were there when I feel like this was something that happened at
Speaking of which, I think we're about due to cover another one of their sermons.
that. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You want to do one of
Now
the
that-
deconstruction ones?
yes. Now
Work
that
our
we
way through
pop,
that.
yeah. Now that we pop that cherry, I think we need to.
By the way, not speaking of cherries, the non-denominational pseudo-Baptist places, I think there has been a shift in the way that they do things. It used to be like the focus used to be on getting new people. Now the focus seems really heavily on keeping people, like keeping believers.
Yeah.
And so like that, like brainwashing, not brainwashing for Jesus, gaslighting
but it is
for Jesus.
that too.
Like they're playing, our old church is playing heavily into that.
Look, it's in the Bible.
Are you
That's scripture.
saying Jesus fucked himself? Or never mind. I was gonna say something. I don't even want to say that out loud.
Type it in the chat. I want to know what you're thinking. The private chat. Or the public if you're feeling saucy. All right. Pause while I wait for Matt to type things. Talk amongst yourselves, chat. We're talking amongst ourselves, so you can. I can see for algorithm reasons why.
I mean,
not
self-edit coming in clutch when it matters.
right. I mean, hey, I'm proud.
I know, growth.
Yeah.
Therapy, everyone.
Because and I've told you this, but like I remember, like back in the day, like, geez, almost 20 years ago, like when we started hanging out. God, we're old. That was almost like the running joke.
I think.
What's that?
We look a lot like we used to.
Well, I guess my hair just kind of migrated. That's the big change for me. But yeah, you pretty much, especially with the hat,
puffier in general. I do have the same hat I used to wear upstairs. I was gonna maybe wear it tonight, but I also look homeless when I wear it because it's a little ratty. The coolest of homeless guys.
But that used to be the thing, like back in the day, like we knew, like as soon as you said, "Oh, I shouldn't say this," like we knew we were going to get you to say it.
Also, there was a general rule, like 3 beers, and then I'm open to suggestion.
It's true.
Oh, wait. Okay. So I had a leader at Hofbräu House in Covington. Across the
like
river.
a liter of beer.
A liter? Sorry, I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I first heard that as like a liter, as in someone was leading me. But yes, a liter of beer. Yes.
A liter of beer and a big fucking sign with like golf ball dimples on it.
Mm-hmm.
And
I have one of those, like right there.
And I was like, I'm open to suggestion. And so they were trying to come up with like a pickup line for me to use on the woman at the table directly behind us. And it's like long benches with like chairs and tables and stuff. I mean, like, yeah. And so we're like back to back. And so the line was, I seem to have lost my phone number. Can I have yours?
Classic.
Yeah. And so I thought she said, I'm Mary. And I was like, hi, Mary, I'm Matt. and then Danny goes, dude, no, she said, I'm married. And so then I was like, I'm going to turn around now. But then apparently that was endearing because later this married person was talking about like the show they were going to go see. And looking back for the first time, I'm realizing this could have been like a potential invite. And I was like, super autistic. And I was like, yeah, I know who they are. That's good music. I'm kicking myself now.
Oh yeah, I can think back to several situations where I was like, oh, I totally could have got somewhere with that, but yeah.
I totally wanted to get somewhere with that at the time. Man.
Yeah.
Autism's a parallel reality.
Right. All right.
Another conversation about Jesus overcoming the grave, but then God raised him from the dead. And God didn't do that because he's this bloodthirsty, paganistic, angry God that needed to kill something. No, the reason.
But it kind of sounds like he did. Like whether he's bloodthirsty or not, like he apparently needed to kill something. Like that's the story. That's why this whole thing happened.
Clint's clearly been talking to atheists, and this is his brain's attempt to reconcile it.
Yeah. Like this is basically 15 minutes of him trying to soothe his own cognitive dissonance, and he just needs to like externally process all this stuff.
It's not working.
He doesn't. Yeah, it's
look
basically
good.
him saying like this all makes sense, right, guys? Right?
I mean, Jesus
to be
died,
honest, that's
and
kind of
God
what we're
had
doing.
a hand in it. Was God acting as a high?
What's that?
I mean, to be honest, that's kind of what we're doing. Like post-religious trauma, we're like, I mean, this is all nuts, right, guys? This is all nuts. I mean, like, I can stay okay. I don't need to go back.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Priest over this new covenant, in a sense, until Jesus stepped into that role. God made him who knew no sin to be sin for us, that we might become the righteousness of God in him. And then also God made him to be a curse for us. So God made him to be sin. God made him to
he made him be a curse just for us. That's yeah. No, I saw your other chat. Okay. But it's like all this stuff like that's explained in the story. It's like, look what God had to do to Jesus, which was himself. Like, so like disregarding that whole aspect of it. Okay, so look at all the things that God had to do to Jesus and all the things that Jesus had to go through, like for us. It's like,
I know. That's like saying God is like, look what you made me do.
Yeah, but again, it just keeps going back to, okay, but who's the one who set up this system to be the way that this is what had to be done? It's like if I tell my kids, like, look, if one of you eats a sandwich today, then I'm going to have to like smack you in the knee with a hammer. But look, I only told you this now at the end of the day after you both already ate sandwiches. But look, I'm going to be the nice guy and just smack myself in the knee with a hammer for you. Like, that is how fucking insane this is. We're supposed to be appreciative to God for carrying out the brutal consequences of the system that he set up to have these brutal consequences.
But
and we're just like, oh,
we made him do it.
Right.
After the fact.
Oh, Jesus is our fig tree. Oh, with the cursings and yeah. It just wasn't his season.
Hung on a tree, all that.
Like a fig.
Yeah.
Yep. So
olives grow in trees too.
Yes.
So it's unclear if an olive or fig tree.
I was going to say, like, that is a true fact. Where are we going with this?
I don't know. I thought maybe it was going somewhere deep, but it wasn't.
That's what she said.
Sigh.
For on behalf of humanity, sin could be dealt with, death could be dealt with, the curse of law breaking could be dealt with, and then there could be a path of restoration with the Father. Because you hear this Luciferian agenda or this Luciferian...
Yeah, we're setting up this God as all-powerful. We're supposed to be impressed with this super fucked up system that he had to basically MacGyver out of the situation.
Right.
And
It's like God's like, I want to help you, but there's paperwork. Like,
it's like, oh yeah, but you're the one who requires the paperwork. It's like,
I gotta wait a certain amount of time until a certain amount of people in this one specific part of the world are hurting enough, and then I'm gonna send my son to die for them, but then they'll like still hurt, and like the kingdom's gonna get totally fucked and wrecked, and
right.
it doesn't make any sense. He didn't even save the Jewish people. They had
summary.
To
they
melt.
say God sacrificed himself to himself.
My ear wasn't working.
He didn't even save the Jewish people. Like they had to like meld with Romans in order to survive. Like,
yeah.
So Romans, invaded Israel, and then Christianity is what happens when the inevitable happens, and like Greek philosophy melds with like Jewish philosophy and religion, and so then Christianity happens, which is sort of Judaism as an idea trying to survive by like mating with Roman thought.
Oh, but hey, the shaking fist. How's it going, Zach? Welcome. So, I mean, considering they think the devil is stronger than God, right? I mean, that's what makes sense.
Yeah.
Because then the devil makes them do the bad things, even though it's in their heart. Yeah. Like,
I mean, the devil's at least an equal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Rube Goldberg machine of salvation. It's like, could he have possibly come up with a more complicated way to do what he wanted to do?
And with the spiritual warfare, like, which is for Jesus stuff that we are involved in, the whole idea that like God can't do something unless we agree with it. You know what I mean? Like free will stuff. But then like Satan doesn't give two shits about your free will and can just do whatever. Like,
yeah,
sounds like God has limitations. Satan doesn't.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that's Christianity. Like, no, Christianity was Paul trying to save the Hebrews from the heretical thought of the early Christians.
Yeah,
I don't know. Also Paul's like big marketing. Hey, if you follow me, you don't got to chop the end of your dick off.
I have a similar idea so Paul had a grief hallucination, saw an apparition of Jesus, and he couldn't save the Christians that he had already helped get killed. But after he had his grief hallucination and a change of heart, he could at least help their religion survive or help their ideas survive. Not that was like a conscious thought, but kind of that feels like something somebody going through that would want to do. Like, I can't save the people that I helped kill, but I can save what they believed. And so that's why he was like, Peter, you just stop being so Jewish. Like, do you not see the writing on the wall? Rome is going to come in and destroy the temple, and it's going to be bad for all of you. Like, you have to blend with them if you're going to if your ideology and who you are as a people is going to survive.
Right. But yeah, but back to the whole like Satan being like more powerful and also like apparently more accessible, because like because if you need God to like enter your life and like enter your soul, like there's all this stuff you got to do. You got to pray the certain prayer. You got to believe these certain things. Like you might have to like, fast or like go through all these like different spiritual disciplines, like constant like church attendance, like praise and worshiping and tithing, like all this stuff you got to keep up like constantly in order to keep God's presence in your life. But apparently all you need for Satan is you just need to like touch a Ouija board or listen to Slayer and he's in. It's like, it's like, man, Satan does sound like a lot more powerful and honestly a lot cooler. So
yeah, and if he's like the character of Lucifer, then he's actually better.
Right? So Zach here says, from my reckoning, Paul persecuted them and saw their rise, and then decided that he could guide them into something else and separate them from just being a weird sect of Jews, as he later corrected. Yeah, which that's something like I know the struggle. I wish, because Facebook lets you do this now. I wish YouTube let you edit comments on live streams, but yeah, because I commit so many typos before I hit send when I'm watching things live. But yeah, I mean, in Acts, him and Peter do nothing but disagree, and he makes a point of saying he never got any knowledge from them as he spread his different message. Yeah, which, because that's also the thing, like that whole interaction between Paul and Peter and how they have a disagreement, but like Paul came out on top. Like,
no. So the shaking fist, like,
yeah.
I think I agree with you, but I also don't think that he was aware he was doing that. You know what I mean? Like subconscious kind of motivation stuff at all.
Yeah.
Because he seems pretty. If he was, he comes across as genuine in the letters that were probably written by him.
Yeah. But yeah, no worries, Zach. Like the phrase would be like, your brain is just faster than your fingers.
No, I could pick it out.
Yeah,
I could see one.
Yeah. I've learned to. I'm fluent in typo. But that whole like Paul and Peter disagreement, to me, that completely undermines like one of the apologists' like biggest like arguments they try to make it, like, and why they try to date like the gospel accounts specifically and Paul's writings like so as early as possible, because like one of their big things is like the closer you can get to the source, the more accurate and reliable and true it is. But in this instance, we have Peter, who was like literally one of Jesus's disciples. He was there from the beginning. But then he's disagreeing with this guy who's like a newcomer to the movement, who had a vision.
Yeah.
Who probably never actually even met Jesus. But it's like, so if you knew nothing else, but if all you knew was about Christianity was that like, or anything in general, it's like, okay, closest to the original source, that's the most reliable. If that's, and you just familiar with that principle, but if you knew nothing about like the way, like the early church like shook out and how that whole story went, if I just told you, okay, so Peter, one of Jesus's actual disciples, had a disagreement with this guy Paul, who was like this Jewish Pharisee who was persecuting Christians and just said he saw Jesus and then came in and started telling people what's what, and they clashed. Which one of those two do you think the church went with? You would probably say Peter, but you would be wrong.
Well, interestingly, Paul's writings were more compatible with Roman thinking, and it was the Roman emperor who called together like the first canonization of literature. Because for sure, like if Peter's in Jerusalem, like doing Jesus stuff in Jerusalem nonstop, then there's gonna be people writing about that, and that was not put into the Bible.
But yes. Yeah, so apparently Jesus just changed his mind between the time he saw them and after his death and Paul on the road to Damascus, right? He had to think, and the crucifixion really made him rethink things. I mean,
wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if anything's going to make you rethink things, I mean, yeah, being like stapled to popsicle sticks, as Fox said earlier.
Yes. And it seems like
I still love that.
Where he's like crying out on the cross, like, God, why have you forsaken me? It seems like he thought something different was going to happen.
Oh, crying out like what?
Eli! Lama sabachthani.
He was always rather stupidly optimistic, man. I mean, I'm afraid it came as a great shock to him when he died.
That was perfect timing, dude. Did you sense that coming?
I tend to, yeah. Jesus, I ain't coming back while they're wearing crossmen. Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little twisted.
Yeah.
Like, where's the Book of Revelation pendant? I mean, isn't that when like shit gets real? Like,
right. Oh yeah, we were watching, dude. You ready to get back to Clint?
let's get back to him and his fantastic setup.
They say God sacrificed himself to appease his own anger. And it's like these clever little trickery statements are, to
Did he just jazz hands that away?
yeah, these clever little exactly describing the situation as it actually is, as laid out in the Bible statements.
I mean, that was straight up argument from incredulity. And it's like most stripped down form. Where you just like repeat what they're saying in like a mocking tone and then move on. Like that's it's like you literally just repeated what they said and then didn't counter at all. And if we're just reading the transcript of what you said, it looks like you just agreed with them.
Yeah, it's like, dude, like someone needs to tell them, like, inflection is not an argument.
Yeah, but this is a popular one. Like you see this in politics and all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
To the mind that doesn't understand that God gave mankind dominion over this planet and that we are to rule and reign in his image here, responsible for the condition of the world, ultimately responsible to him.
He's saying bullshit again.
Gave mankind dominion over this planet. No, to the mind that doesn't understand that God gave mankind dominion over this planet and that we are to rule and reign in his image here, responsible for the condition of the world, ultimately responsible to him.
It's all our fault.
But then
so he's saying like, oh, you forget that this is actually our fault. But why? Why is this our fault? Because who gave us a responsibility? Did we give it to ourselves? Like we stole it from God? Like he didn't want us to have it, but we overpowered him and took it from him? Like,
yeah, we had the power to take something that was perfect and make it evil.
Yeah, he gave us the order to till the soil, as he later corrected.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, but speaking of the argument from inflection, to be fair, it's one of the few times he has any inflection.
No, it's true. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll let him have that, but yeah, let's hear this again because it's just so.
To the mind that doesn't understand that God gave mankind dominion over this planet and that we are to rule and reign in his image here, responsible for the condition of the world, ultimately responsible to him. But then he made a way through himself so that we could be free from the sin and death that we introduced into this earth. And I can hear what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, he knew that.
You know, he's gonna go exactly, and he's gonna.
Okay, but he's saying like we introduced it, not we created it.
Right.
So it's almost so like it was already a thing, and we just introduced it into the world.
It was already there as a possibility.
It's like, where the fuck did it come from?
We collapsed the wave function into reality.
Into this earth. And I can hear what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, he knew that it was going to happen and he let it happen anyway. But that's kind of like, those of you that have children and you send your children out and you raise them in a loving home and you take care of them and they go out and they hurt someone intentionally and you would consider that an evil act. Did you allow that to happen? Was it your fault? No, of course not. That child went out.
Oh my God, pause it. No, I remember this when I watched it the first time. I was like, I would sure as hell question, like, where did I go wrong? The fact that he's like,
right,
of course you would assume you didn't. Red flag for mental health professionals.
Let's see what like Zach is saying here. So let's assume that God really did do that. Gave us dominion to rule over the earth. You think they would want to take care of it because it would be God's gift, and not taking care of it would be like the most evil things.
Yeah. I mean,
sorry, I read that in my best inebriated voice I could muster. Thank you.
now, okay,
It felt weird to me as I was saying that, but if no one else noticed, then what?
I didn't.
So,
So Fox says he can hear what I'm thinking, and
sorry, we both clicked at the same time. There it is.
Yeah, so that's another reason why I think he's been talking to atheists or watching atheist content is because, like, well, okay, first of all, this isn't the first time thinking this would make sense what he's been talking about so far. So I think it's interesting he says it now, but yeah, like he knows, and he has terrible responses. He's been exposed to this, has thought about it, and his responses are bad.
Yeah, it's like he's basically trying to set himself up as like he has such an advantage, and he's completely squandering it. So, but here's some more.
Go out and they hurt someone intentionally, and you would consider that an evil act. Did you allow that to happen? Was it your fault?
Well,
that's what I would ask myself.
Well, again, if my kids are at a certain level, like say if they were like toddlers and I'm like there with them, because as far as like the discrepancy that's like between us and God, it's like even so much more than a parent and a toddler. So
yeah.
So when it comes to like a child having any sort of agency and control of what they do, it's like that's like the widest we can get is like adult and toddler, because like infant, like they aren't really choosing to do anything. But so adult and toddler.
But even as an adult, you would still wonder, did I contribute to that?
Right, because here's the thing, like but let's just say like if I am out with one of my kids when they were toddlers, like say like we're at the park. And like they're out like running around on the playground or whatever. And I'm there with them watching them. If one of them just starts like beating up on another kid and I just sit there and be like, oh, that's their free will.
Yeah.
I can't do anything to stop them. Like you can't call me a bad parent. They're the one hitting the other kid. And you can't blame this on me. It's like.
And the degree to which you have the power to intervene but don't in that situation.
Yeah.
Like that's the degree to which you are evil, I think.
Yeah, right. Like let's take away the discrepancy, even if it's like just me and Matt. Like say like we're hanging out like at a bar somewhere and like we're just sitting there having drinks and like I've had maybe a few too many and I just start like beating up on someone. Like if you just sit there and just let me do it and like you don't like step in,
I would have already stepped in.
Right. Exactly. So
you wouldn't notice you're about to be beat up. Like by the time you realize you're about to get beat up, you would start picking a fight with them.
Right. Yeah. So the idea, so I do not understand how they can present this God to us as this completely all-powerful being, but then also a being that can just sit on the sidelines like, well, it's out of my hands.
That God's a puss.
I need to visit there sometime. One of these days.
You know, we do that here in Philadelphia when the Eagles win. I'm not in Philadelphia, but like when the Eagles win or lose, there's a riot in Philadelphia.
Yeah, because it's the city of brotherly love.
Yeah,
so
and it's like the one time American football is like actual football.
Zing! All right.
No, of course not. That child went out and made a free will decision. That's the beauty of the
not of course not. It's no, of course, like if you have the level of control over your children that God has over us as far as like the power dynamic, it's like I feel like a broken record on this. This is just such fucking bullshit.
But
And
he's a terrible person, so of course not.
okay. There you go.
History of God making humanity, he gave us free will. And we have wrecked this place.
He gave us free will. Citation needed, by the way.
That's true. Free will is not really a concept in the Bible anywhere.
Yeah. Or the kind of free will he's talking about was essentially like libertarian free will. That's like most philosophers, like experts on the subject, don't really think that's a thing either.
Right.
So,
and this fixation on free will is more characteristic of Luciferianism than it is of Christianity or the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're basing Christianity on the Bible,
it's true.
So he's telling on himself.
So, right, but fun bit of trivia here from the Shaken Fist. Well, is it American football? It's just football. Soccer is a British term created for it being called associated football. Yes, because there are many different types of football. Like what's known as American football, I learned the actual official name of that is gridiron football.
That makes sense.
There's a new wrinkle for your brain. So,
I like my new wrinkle.
Matches the new one in my dick. But yet over here, you merely need to glance across the room and there could be fisticuffs. Fisticuffs is another term I love.
Well, you know, like father, like son. The U.S. is going to be like that in a little bit here.
Yeah.
Fortunately, there's a lot of us online persecuting Christians, in quotes.
Yeah, I mean, look at us go right now.
Yeah.
But the problem is we have evidence of the lack of free will, so it must suck to be them.
You'd think.
True enough. That's what I like. Honestly, a lot of it like comes down to when I hear a lot of these bullshit apologetic arguments. I think this is something that just occurred to me. So thank you, Zach, for wording it this way. It's like that's part of my frustration is like me basically wanting to say to people like Clinton, like, why doesn't it suck more to be you? That's really like where
here's
my
the thing, like as long as
like,
they stay in that like circular like thinking loop, they won't feel their detriment.
That's true. Yeah.
It'll just be part of the feedback loop into getting like deeper into God. Penis joke. Come on. Yeah. But the whole time they're hurting themselves and like we know. We talked to therapists about it.
Anywho.
But to his glory, he made a way for us to be free from sin and death, to be free from the effects of all of this.
It's all about his glory. That's
okay, to be free from it. But how many Christians do you know who still deal with sin? Like the data shows like sin happens at least equal. The data indicates greater so like drug abuse or substance abuse, sexual assault happens like more so in the Bible Belt area. Mm-hmm. Like it would seems to make it worse. So you're chasing after something better, but the whole time you're just making it gradually worse. Like we're about to have two Americas, red and blue, where red and blue states function pretty kind of increasingly independent of each other. I don't think people care enough to actually become like Civil War Part 2. But we're in the middle of a cold version of that, I think.
Yeah. So hooray for apathy, I guess.
No, I think that might be the magic of this one. Like with the internet, like at the same rate that like fascism is growing, like the resistance to it is growing at about the same speed. So I think it might look like things are just going to get like increasingly awful, but because everything is so connected, it's going to be like two giant waves crashing into each other, and then it just goes back down to like level. This is happening at the same time that AI and like electronic connectivity is equalizing things. Like there's like a digital kind of communism happening right now where yeah, I think we're headed towards an equilibrium, but like the whole way there, it's going to look like this is the end of the world. Or it's the end of the world.
One of those.
What a fantastic time to be alive.
Yeah. God's prior like ceiling fan light flickering message was very unclear. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go back and rewatch the episode later. Matt talked about it earlier.
Sorry, I was talking over you.
That's all right. Or was I talking over you? Or was I talking over Zach?
Autism.
The civilier, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. It's either the end of everything or God's coming back.
Yeah. So speaking of like Zach, congratulations on getting out before all of this. So
yeah. Although, shit like this is gonna happen. It's already happening in the UK.
Yeah.
You guys have a lot more apathy than we do. I think. Because you just keep calm and carry on, keep calm and fascism on. You'll probably be fine.
But I am unfamiliar with the dead internet theory.
Oh, no. So. At least half the traffic on the internet is bots.
Oh, that. Yeah. Okay.
If you're on Facebook.
I was from. So like so many things. Yeah. So like so many things, I was actually familiar with the thing, just not the term. Okay. Cool. Yay.
Yeah.
All right. Play Magic Ear.
Stuff, even though we've done it to ourselves. And deep down, you know it. You are a free will.
Yeah, victim blaming, like, oh, we did this to ourselves.
I think this is where he starts to get a little programmy, a little dark. So just heads up, anybody watching who is sensitive, like not, who has a religious trauma, who is not that far out of religion, I don't know, skip ahead here and there, see how it strikes you.
Yeah. All right. So I finished like the hard stuff, so I'm now back to the unleaded.
I moved on to Differently Hard, which is the name of my porno. There might not ever be a better answer to that joke.
So Differently Hard, is that like?
Is that like the neurodivergent people?
Yeah, I was about to say that's the neurodivergent version for Differently Hard. That might be the most perfect thing I have ever heard.
I know, and I didn't know I was going to say it until I did. I love finding out what I'm saying at the same time everyone else is.
It's just fun for everyone. So. And so can you. All right. But all right, I feel like I need to back him up a little bit here. Well, where have you been, Ember? Well, this is the only thing we had planned for tonight, and it's like 15 minutes long, so that's going to take us the full time. So,
and this guy is a lot. He's dealing with a lot. He's pretty confused. Our autism needed.
And also, Zach keeps distracting us. Like, I think your porno movie name would be The Fat Man Cometh. I was about to say, oh, maybe a collab, but like, we're not that close. So, it's a 2-hour staff meeting. Ooh,
shit. You're in a different time zone than us for sure.
No, I think she's in Eastern. At least that's what she said when she was on last week. But
wow,
man. Or is that something like the kids are calling something staff meeting these days? Is that what that is?
That's what you call smoking weed online, probably.
Yeah. I need that kind of stuff.
Place I used to work with, they called that an ice cream social. Is when you would smoke weed on lunch break.
Oh, nice. I approve.
Way for us to be free from sin and death, to be free from the effects of all of this stuff, even though we've done it to ourselves. And deep down, you know it. You are a free will, autonomous, responsible human being.
Autonomous, you say? Autonomous sounds like a Luciferian idea.
And I love when people tell me what I know deep down inside. Isn't that just the best? Yeah.
Well, he's a pastor. That's what you do.
I mean, that's just like every kind of gaslighting. It's like it's your fault, and you actually know it.
Yeah.
Like,
sure, Christian church gaslighting is the best lighting. If you're in a mega church, that hits a little harder.
It was the transpositions crew. Okay, that kind of staff meeting. Nice.
Oh, all right.
And so on.
Can't blame God for the condition of the world. You can't blame God for the condition of your life. It's time to take responsibility. Reject the Luciferian lie that God is not trustworthy, that he is of low character.
Oh yeah, that's why like this whole narrative of we can't blame God. Like, fucking watch me.
Also, like take his tone and like his cadence and his mannerisms that are happening right now, and picture him using this same tone to someone who is chained on a bare mattress in his basement. I don't like how the tone fits for both.
Ooh,
this is a problem.
Let's see. And also, I'm just amusing myself that I keep doing this.
I know, you Star Trekking it in.
Responsible human being. You can't blame God for the condition of the world. You can't blame God for the condition of your life. It's time to take responsibility. Reject the Luciferian lie that God is not trustworthy, that he is of low character. And
okay, but you have yet to establish how that's a lie. Other than, well, the Bible says that's not true. So the Bible says he is loving and is of high character and is all good. So therefore, that's a lie. That's all you got.
Yeah.
So.
Do you see?
Yeah.
I think we clicked on the same thing.
Or maybe like, I can blame Mr. All-Powerful for anything I like. He'll take credit for it anyway. Right?
And then Fox said this: C-section baby, so that loopholes me out of sins at birth. I think. Well, yeah, you weren't exactly born; you were just suddenly a separate person.
Yeah, I'm also a C-section baby. Yeah, because I think that was like that was like one of the loopholes in one of the Shakespeare plays, where it said where it was something like "No man born of a woman can do such and such," but this one guy's like, "Oh." They didn't call it a C-section. I think that the phrase in the play was like he was like from the womb untimely ripped or whatever. So then he was able to do the thing that no man born of a woman could do. So that's why so me and like all my siblings, like we were all C-section. So my older brother, like who was very into Shakespeare and stuff, he loved to say like, I was not born of a woman. And like it always made my mother very upset when he would like keep harping on about that. It's like, anyway, but he's also
the shaken fist was apparently 13 pounds at birth. Holy shit, you were a fucking toddler at birth.
wait, pounds. What is that in dollars, though? Get it? Anyway,
there's a deeper biting joke in there.
Yeah, because I thought you all used stone or whatnot. Anyway.
Babies are different. They use pounds. More precise.
Anyway.
receive the gospel. The gospel is God loves you. God cares about you. But he gave you independence. He gave you freedom. He gave you free will. He's made you to be your own God in a sense. And the beauty of it is...
Do you see him choke on that? He was like, I just said that.
Yeah, but here's the thing, like, he didn't have to say that. Like, why did he say that?
Wait, so then the snake was right. Like, we became like God. We became our own gods. God let that happen. Did you see him just kind of realize what he said earlier when he said that? Like when he repeated that idea?
Yeah,
because
I remember earlier when he said that concept, like we basically like became gods. It's like, it's not like that's a corner he walked himself into based on other things. Like that just came out of nowhere.
Yep.
He just said, "Oh, and it kind of made us gods." It's like, why did you need to say that? But so
I'm gonna follow this guy. His journey is gonna be fantastic.
But speaking of people to follow, the Shaking Fist, like, I'm an American. I just live here. I'm from Maine. But dude, I've heard you talk. Like, here in America, we do not consider anyone with that kind of accent from around these parts.
Well,
I say that all facetiously, but yeah.
Are you talking like he has a UK accent, like British accent?
Yeah.
I mean, Maine is the closest to England.
That's true. Yeah, that's the part of America that's like, please, we're trying to be England. Yeah. Let's see.
Maine's kind of barely inhabitable. There's like one city there.
Right. So, well, Genesis says we are kind of demigods.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of ancient people thought that some of us were born with a spark of the divine. Yeah, for sure.
There's a time Jesus...
Well, are you saying Genesis ripped off other ancient like mythologies and beliefs? Come on.
My goodness. Didn't Jesus quote like an Old Testament somewhere where he said, didn't I like...
It say like you are gods? Yeah, I think it was in the Psalms somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, the Psalms get nutty. A bit poetic even. Right. Go figure.
Yeah. Which... So apparently, hot take or whatever. So back in my Christian days, when I would try to do the whole like read through the entire Bible challenge, also I never actually made it. But it's like people always talk about the books like, you know, like early on, like the books of the law, like Leviticus and Numbers, like being like the really boring, hard to get through like books. But honestly, for me, it was Psalms. Like, to me, that was the most like boring and repetitive and tedious because it's like the same three thoughts over and over again. Like
David was bipolar.
Well, not just that, but it just sounded like it just kept repeating itself. Just like, oh God, you're great. I suck. Oh, but you're gonna make me great. And oh, these people are pissing me off. Can you take vengeance? Thanks. Like, and just that repeated for like however, like 100 or so, however many fucking chapters there were. There's like,
is that when we recognize?
Sorry, my forearms. I'm too powerful, folks. But,
so a comment about Maine.
Yeah,
I think Maine is one of the last places where where there are people who will build you a boat out of wood completely, like a mini ship.
Mm.
My cousin used to be married to someone who went up there for that.
Huh. Interesting. All right.
Maine's more like Canada than anything.
And this so this is speaking of David, at least by
very
much love Jonathan. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He loved his mighty men. His mighty men of valor.
Well, wasn't that like his great sin that God punished him for like numbering his mighty men or something? It's like is that a euphemism for something?
He had a ranking system. He's like, oh no, we have to spend all this time in this cave.
And he had to count them with his long like pointer stick. But anyway,
what will I do with my
how good he is? then we don't want to try to be our own God. We don't want to try to judge and determine good and evil from itself. We recognize that he is holy and pure, and that his will and his plans are just and loving and kind.
What?
He's just making assertions now. As if he's proven all these points. He's soothing himself right now, and anybody like-minded. He's like, that was a lot, wasn't it? Let's feel better.
Okay, so the shaking fist says, no, David's sin was Bathsheba and killing her husband. No, okay, that was one of his sins, or two of his sins. So that one, so this is different. Like, no, there was a different part where, like, David, like, just numbering the troops was apparently a big no-no. And also, depending on whether you're reading the story in like Second Samuel, whichever one it is, or Chronicles, because like First and Second Chronicles is basically a retelling of like the Samuel and Kings books. But and I can't remember which one, but in one of them, it says that Satan incited David to number his troops. But in the other one, it said God incited him to number his troops. But in both instances, God punished him for doing that. So, but I think that punishment was basically the whole, like, you're not going to be king for much longer or whatever. But no, for that minor thing, God's like, all right, you don't deserve to be king anymore. So now I'm going to punish you for that. But no, but for the Bathsheba and Uriah, her husband, that he had killed after screwing his wife, Bathsheba. No, that one, the punishment for David was his wife would be raped in public. So,
well, that makes Bronze Age.
That's how God handled that. So,
which is exactly how a king would in the Bronze Age.
Right. So, but let's listen to Clint tell us more about how this God is all loving and just and all the good things.
He's so convincing.
And gracious and merciful.
Those two.
And then you can actually collaborate with him in this earth and rule and reign with him and make decisions according to his will, representing him. Free will agent.
Wait, so I can make decisions as a free will agent, but only according to his will.
Right.
That doesn't sound like free will or agency.
No, it is. As long as your free will is exactly God's will, then it's both at the same time.
It's like he's just throwing all these words out there. It's
no, but like we used to think something like that. Free will seems to be a liability once you become a Christian, because once you become a Christian, you're supposed to surrender your will to God, and so like your will lines up with God's will.
Yeah.
So it sounds like free will's bad. That's what caused the fall, and like we're just supposed to submit to God in every single fucking way, like
right. Out of our free will,
which is the healthiest of things to do.
Exactly. So God was like, bet you won't number your oiled up men. David then proceeded to rape his men in his life. God was like, no, not like that. But speaking of like the punishment for him doing that, no, for the Bathsheba and Uriah thing, like also that his kids would be fucked up. Yeah, because so yeah, here's how.
So Jesus is supposedly like a descendant from his kids. So is Jesus fucked up? Is this like where God is like
this was his direct like children.
I know, but like fucked up kids make fucked up people.
Right? No, but here's how fucked up that whole punishment system was. So for the only thing that David himself got punished for was when he just numbered some soldiers, which maybe at the time like that made sense why that was a terrible thing, but like now we're like, what people like numbering your troops just seems like the sensible thing to do. Like you kind of want to know, but for whatever reason, okay, so this thing that he did, like that was how he got punished. But the other thing he did where he basically probably just raped a woman and then had her husband killed intentionally, for doing that, a thing that is like actually bad, God punished his family.
Yeah.
But this is an all just, all loving God, folks. I mean, Clint said so. So
I just realized what's happening right now. We're pretending to do a podcast live stream. Everybody in the chat is hanging out with us and pretending to be the peanut gallery. This is a real autistic endeavor. It's like, like, let's all hang out. We'll pretend to do this. You pretend to do that.
Thanks for playing along, everybody.
So much fun. Like, man, reality's stupid.
That is a fantastic way to frame all this. I dig it.
Without doing it because the preacher said so or because you read it in the Bible and you feel obligated. It's a mature mental assent.
He's talking to himself.
Soulish belief, a submission of the heart to recognize that he is the ultimate good. He is the I am. He is the highest form that we should reach for and shoot for. And then we recognize along the way we can't make it ourselves. And so then
he's talking to himself a little bit. This is nuts.
All right. So we have agreement. Zach wants to be Waldorf. Granted.
A whole just like a whole like spread of balcony seats full of Waldorf and
right.
And what's the other guy's name?
Statler. It does help the algo.
Yeah, it does.
That probably by us because it's true.
I mean, we're trying to swim upstream because like atheist and left content in the U.S. right now is getting like throttled. So, yeah, tell your friends.
Yeah. Yep. And tell your enemies. Like, if you think this show sucks and you want to piss someone off.
But not if they're nice. Don't tell them.
Yeah. Hey, it's the Dr. Kip effect. It does. Well, thanks for coming, Ember. Good to see you, as always. So, enjoy the nap.
Enjoy your nap.
All right. And I'm going to do this again.
We appreciate and revere what Christ did for us. He made that way for us to be free from sin and death.
Don't tell me what I appreciate and revere, dude.
He made that way. What the fuck is this?
Let's see that again.
With his hands. He's like cervical scoop. Like what's happening?
What? Is that a term?
No.
Good.
I mean, there's like a spread 'em tool that like they use, and I know that because I worked for a cleaning company. One of the places we cleaned was a gynecological place. They have like these like stainless steel spread 'em things, and there's like a screw that like spreads it, and it all seems very cold and a little Middle Ages.
Slightly, yeah.
Apparently, there's a better device now that's warmer.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And revere what Christ did for us. He made that way for us to be free from sin and death and enter into eternal life with our Heavenly Father.
Can we see the scoop again?
So I hope that
All right.
for us, He made that way for us to be free from sin and death and enter into eternal life with our Heavenly Father.
He opened his fingers.
So I hope
he's like, what?
All right, let's see if I can. I'm going to try to pause it on
did
that.
for us. He made that way.
I don't understand why his brain was like this. That's not a natural motion to be like, he made a way. He made a way. This is like an opening. What is he putting in? Oh. This guy's fascinating.
Yeah, he's my new favorite. I think. Making my face hurt. God damn it. Ah. So
I hope he never finds out about us. I just want to comment on him over and over again, and he like never knows.
So
Echo, no.
Okay.
So
it just off. He's like, "Would you like me to add this to your order?" And I was, "No."
All right. So
Anyway.
my proposition, like when you make the thumbnail, this is just my suggestion. Like include this. This.
Okay.
Oh no! Come back to us, Fox. All right, so I'm going to back him up again just so we can get, the lead up, the follow through, the full effect. All right. Here we go.
So then we appreciate and revere what Christ did for us. He made that way for us to be free from sin and death and enter into eternal life with our Heavenly Father.
I appreciate and revere that, brother.
Well, we're saved now.
Yeah. Like, I feel like Jesus, like, if there's any other way, like, please may this cupping pass from me.
It's like, do I have to be all up in the universe for this to happen?
It's like, look, I don't even like humanity like that. We're just friends. Like,
I thought this was just a job.
all right. One more time. Hold on. Oh, now he's got even that look on it. He's like, it's even like blurry. Like this is like in action. But yeah, one more time.
We appreciate and revere what Christ did for us. He made that way for us to be free from sin and death and enter into eternal life with our Heavenly Father.
He's like, into the tomb, out of the tomb. It's like, what was his brain doing in the background? Where that made sense for what he was saying.
See, again, you can tell like where his brain is wanting to take him, but his mouth is refusing to follow. That's what he said also. But
wow, that's a great way to explain a whole lot of people online. Cameron Bertuzzi, he just veered into like Shroud of Turin land recently.
Oh, I saw that. Scoops. Yeah.
At least he's gentle on the way in.
So I hope that this has been helpful for you to recognize the difference between Satanism and Luciferianism, and then see.
Wait.
Is this conclusion?
Yeah. So after all that, like, but how long ago was he actually talking about like Satanism and Luciferianism and
first 3 minutes? Like it was a long time ago.
Okay, so I'm just going to like back this up for a while. I just want to let this play out because I want this to lead into. Now, I hope that helped. It's like, let's see if this actually helped.
His will representing him, free will agent, without doing it because the preacher said so or because you read it in the Bible and you feel obligated. Mm-hmm. It's a mature mental assent, a soulish belief, a submission of the heart to recognize that he is the ultimate good. Mm-hmm. He is the I am. He is the highest form that we should reach for and shoot for. And then we recognize along the way we can't make it ourselves. And so then we appreciate and revere what Christ did for us. He made that way for us to be free from sin and death and enter into eternal life with our Heavenly Father. So I hope that this has been helpful for you to recognize the difference between Satanism and Luciferianism, and
It's like it doesn't register the last 12 minutes. This really feels like this is the conclusion to like his first 5 minutes or so. And it's like he was in like a fugue state up until now.
Okay, you know what? It feels like he just
Holy
knows
shit.
like this. It's like this is the point of the video where he needs to start wrapping up. So it's like, oh, what was this about? Oh, those words. This
No.
reminds me of like when I would write research papers or whatever in college. Like if they just had like a word count or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like I'd just like be writing the paper, like typing it out, and every so often I just like hit the word count button, see where I'm at. And so I just keep typing. And when I'd hit the word count button, when I got to where I needed to be, or at least like close enough, like no matter where I was in the paper, no matter like what stream of thought, like what else I'd planned on talking about, as soon as I got close to that mark, I'd just be right. All right, concluding paragraph.
No, I
Done.
realize that's probably what happened, but I love how it also looks like he's been in a fugue state.
And what is a fugue state?
You're doing things and you are completely unaware of it. It's often like you're a different person.
Gotcha.
An autopilot program is running basically, and you have dissociated from that so completely you don't remember it happening and aren't aware of it happening.
That makes sense.
So like, your conscious awareness takes a nap.
So this is him like bringing himself back. It's like, oh yeah,
snapping back into it, and he doesn't realize that like he's been open kimono for like the last 10 minutes.
That's one way to put it. But what's he been doing with that open kimono?
And so then we appreciate and revere what Christ did for us. He made that way for us to be free from sin and death and enter into eternal life in our.
It's an easier way when that kimono's open.
It is. Also, he does a lot of separate hand motions. That's like maybe the first time he's brought his hands together during any of his nonverbal communication this whole time. Which makes sense. It's an important moment for him.
Well, it was the climax.
It's when God entered his heart.
Our Heavenly Father. So I hope that this has been helpful for you to recognize the difference between Satanism and Luciferianism, and then see where Lucifer.
All right, ones in the chat if that helped you realize the difference between Satanism and Luciferianism. Twos for what the fuck is this guy on about?
Luciferianism is even still in the church today, causing us to think that God is allowing bad things for some weird reason, that he's creating these difficult situations, that he's playing puppet master with our lives, and that he's controlling all of these. You know, if you believe that, you're always going to be confused about who God really is. And just know.
Said the atheist part of his brain.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, basically this whole video is like, oh, I'm hearing these atheists or Satanists or non-believers, whoever, saying all these things, like their arguments against Christianity, and they actually make a lot of sense. Again, this is just like, whether it's subconscious or just the party's not saying out loud, really. It's like, those are like really good arguments. How can I refute them? And like all he's left with is like, oh, well, they're just confused.
That's Luciferianism. It's bad.
Thanks for the twos, Fox. Somebody was listening.
I wasn't. I didn't know what that was about.
All right. I said like ones in the chat if this actually did help you understand Satanism and Luciferianism.
Oh.
Twos if you're like, what the fuck is he on about? So,
all right.
So Fox by default speaks for everyone. So thank you.
My brain has a problem with numbers. As soon as somebody starts talking numbers, my brain just assumes it's gibberish. It doesn't pay attention.
Oh, and the third option, the scooping motion has really scooped the light of the Lord right up there into me. Oh my. You may be entitled to compensation. There he planted a seed and I was impregnated. This feels like a very private conversation.
Well,
I
okay.
should not be privy to.
Jesus, all right. Jesus is kind of like God's sperm that got
No.
implanted in the earth and then grew into eternal life. It's just planting of seeds over and over again. God put his seed in Mary. Mary's seed plants into the earth or some shit.
Okay. Yes, that's okay, Fox. You answered before you realized there was a third option. So yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right. So, but yeah, this is all. But yeah, this just totally smacks of like, okay, this sounds like a really good argument. I can't actually refute. So how can I just make it sound like the people saying it are just wrong by default, and therefore we don't have to listen to anything they say? So, oh, I need to check that out. Ooh. Or I may have seen that. I know I've seen like some of your videos where you're talking to Jesus on the phone.
I think a dude needs to make a parody YouTube channel where, you know, like the Jesus is my boyfriend kind of like content on YouTube. A dude needs to make that comment, make that content.
Mm.
He's like talking about how Jesus is his boyfriend.
But then, like, because that's one of those things, like, how are Christians going to say? Because, you know, Christians are going to think that's wrong. But
right. But the only reason they have is patriarchy. Like, not even like Bible patriarchy. It's just, it feels wrong. Like, there's, because then they have to face that the whole Jesus is my boyfriend shit. Like, not biblical. And so then they're going to have to be, how do you argue that, like, the other way is fine, but the dude's doing it isn't? Like, you're going to have to prove that it was cool in the first place, and it's not great reasons.
Yeah.
Except a bunch of straight single women who aren't comfortable with their sexuality, so I'm not going to jerk off because Jesus is my boyfriend. I don't understand.
Yeah. Oh, so many things. All right. Well, I think sounds like we're almost done. Less than 2 minutes.
We can do it.
But only with consent. Are we all good?
We're all good. I'm answering for them.
Okay. That's consent, right?
Because America.
It's the lie of Lucifer. To think that God is in control and allowing the things to happen.
Yeah, so the lie of Lucifer is to think that God is in control.
That's also the Bible.
Ooh.
Did Lucifer write the Bible?
That would make so much sense. Oh, but apparently, Shaken Fist says it is something that I've been writing, but so far it's just a bit of Jesus ignoring my calls. And the George answering machine message from Seinfeld. We would eventually fall in love and run off.
I don't know why, but that reminds me of a bit of crowd work by I can't remember her name. Female comedian who's super popular. Where she's doing crowd work, and this couple in the audience met on Craigslist. And sorry, brain tangent.
Yeah, that's all right. Oh, I always thought it was the Poseidon of the Christ, because fisher of men or something. I'm severely dyslexic, though. Hey, makes about as much sense as anything else.
But I would love to see that movie, Poseidon of the Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Aquaman features heavily, I think.
I dig it.
Happen for some purpose is, I'm just telling you, it is a doctrine of demons, and it is a Luciferian agenda. When the truth is, God created us in his image, gave us free will, we're responsible to him, we wrecked it, he made a way out, and then as we collaborate with him and live out his will.
I can see how this makes sense. Like old me probably would have thought this last string of logic was good.
Yeah, totally.
Which is weird because there were no trees in that area.
Free is real. Yep. No, I literally have nothing to say to that.
And treat people the way he prescribes, the earth will start to look a little bit more like heaven, as Jesus prayed, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven, until he return and restore everything. I hope this was helpful for
So he's like, we're going to restore it until he comes back and restores it.
Yeah. So again, this idea, like, so again, like, so you're telling me he can just return and make everything better, but he's just not.
But we're in the until part right now.
But why? Why does there need to be an until part?
Because there is. God said, God's good, so it's good.
Like, okay, so this is all about like when is like, because that's something people talk about, like, well, when really would be the best time for Jesus to come back? And like, because another thing is like they talk about when he came the first time, like when he was born and died, like, oh, Jesus was born and like lived on earth at the perfect time, because it was like right before, like, it was like during the Roman Empire with the Roman roads and things could travel. Yeah. Like, even though, like, never mind, like, now that there's like the internet, you'd think this would be better. But to me, like, when people ask that, like, well,
it will only be an even better time since then.
Well, no, but to me, it's actually like, think the opposite direction. To me, the perfect time for, like, if this is how it needed to be done for Jesus to save humanity, when would have been the perfect time for Jesus to come to earth and like die for our sins? To me, that would have been immediately after the fall. Like back when there were only like 2 people in the entire world he had to minister to and show like himself to. And
yeah, but so if you're gonna wait, I think you have to wait like the longest of times until like it's the bestest of opportunities, and that would be when every person is completely connected to AI in the future. And so then all you have to do is introduce the idea into like the collective AI, and now everybody's a Christian.
Right now, like, never mind the fact that this seems to imply that God is not all powerful and needs the assistance of a certain set of circumstances to do what he wants to do anyway. Like, never mind that. But
and we need to do what he's going to do that he didn't do when he could have, so that he'll do it.
But later.
Right. For realsies. We're not sure when. It was going to be, before ridiculous. One generation, from the guy who all this is based on. And then we recalculated because, we had better information.
Right.
Because Jesus, short knows everything, but also humans who didn't know everything, specifically didn't know what the fuck he was on about.
So 2's in the chat for that, I guess. I think it was the thing. All right. We're almost there. Less than a minute.
For you. Hope that you got something out of this. If you're watching this and you've never said yes to Jesus, it's very easy. Believe that God sent him. He loves you, that he died on the cross for you. He bore your sins. He bore your shame, your disease, your guilt. He died as you. He overcame death for you, and in him you can live. And God loves you.
What's that?
He died as me, but how'd that work? I'm still here. He died as me in the past before I was even a thing.
Yeah, wait. Okay, so I'm still here, and he's also not currently dead. So it sounds like he failed on both accounts.
Sounds like I'm not alive. Like if he died for me, then I dead. Like if he.
Yeah. Apparently that's what we hear. Apparently for everyone else who does things, like Wednesday's a bad day. But a friend round for wrestling.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I got a lot out of this. Not what he was intending, but damn, I laughed my ass off. All right. Yeah. That's
Good times.
That's about the most you can expect to get out of this, I suppose.
A friend over for wrestling.
It's like, oops. It's like, what kind of wrestling you doing? That's maybe chill out a bit. Jeez. All right. But all right. So what was
Does he have anything else?
Let's see.
He overcame death for you, and in him you can live.
In
and God
him.
loves
In
you,
him.
and he's not mad at you, and he cares for you, and he will put his spirit in you, give you a new heart, and lead and guide you into a life that brings glory to him. And from then on, it's a daily choice to live under the power of his spirit. I hope you make that choice. If you do, let me know.
Spirit.
If you have another comment, drop it in.
Yeah.
That was like aggressive ASMR.
I fucking hate that stuff.
It's like hurt me with consonants ASMR.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah. All right, 10 more seconds.
The comment section wherever you're watching this, I would love to chat with you about this and hear your ideas and your experience. Thanks again. God bless you. See you next time.
Oh man, I want a Zoom call with him.
All right. Well, so here's what I'm thinking after this. Y'all let me know if you agree.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think he would want to do a joint venture where we get to post it on both our channels, where we have a talk? I think he might do it. I'm a little scared how plausible this sounds.
Oh man. Oh. I'm just afraid I wouldn't be able to keep like a straight face and like stay.
No, but I think that could be okay if we're like genuine and we're not like we're not like we're not necessarily trying to beat you down. like I don't want your life to be worse because I said this. I want you to snap out of it.
It's like we're trying to help you, just like Jesus is trying to help you. And
it's like,
yeah.
Please see that this viewpoint is possible. We have of what you're doing. Like there is a reality where our response makes sense. But I also join us, won't you? But I also think that like there's probably a lot of the kind of stuff we said and the points we made where he just wouldn't get it, and it would because he can't get it to to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll just sound like we're crazy.
Well, so it'll be mutual then. So,
but I really like that there's a version where we're just crazy. Like there's a version of now where like we're just out of our minds.
Oh, but fuck, that would be the best part, though.
I want him to be better. Clint, be better.
Yep, that's what we're here for, man.
I think it's fascinating that he somehow deconstructed and didn't notice.
Yeah, he was man, that was some interesting theology that he was putting out there
It was,
for sure.
yeah. It would.
Yeah, with like him just being very adamant, God is not in control.
There was a crazy amount
Like,
of dealer's
okay.
choice in his theology
Yeah.
that he said matter of factly, like, this is a thing people believe. So many people. Why don't you?
Yeah. So,
It's
but
like
again,
your
after
own
all that,
people don't believe that.
yeah. So based on that, do you understand the difference between Luciferianism, Satanism, and atheism now?
I understand he doesn't.
Yeah, or I guess you could say I understand that I did understand the difference. Well, okay, I wasn't as familiar with Luciferianism, to be fair, but
If what he said is true, things are cloudier now.
yeah, that's
I have less clarity. Thank you very much.
yeah, yeah,
That's like a nihilistic kind of black hole situation. Like, to take what he said seriously from our perspective,
mm.
like our ideas just kind of have to eat themselves.
But sounds like he might be into that though.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a lot of repression.
yeah, yeah.
Also, I'm not convinced he's not autistic.
There's that too, but so yeah,
Like, I
so he
bet we
might
could
get
have like
along.
a pretty good conversation with him about other stuff.
Yeah, quite potentially.
You're like, you're a weird dude. This works. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like I bet he has opinions on grilled meat.
Ooh, yeah, yeah. Makes his own Ouroboros. I mean, that's the economical way. Like, it's like, we have Ouroboros at home, kids.
I mean, Christian theology is an Ouroboros in a way. 'Cause, like, there's the fall, and so the God had to fix it. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Scoop that tail with your tongue.
what?
I don't know. All right. Well,
The hand motion was important to him. He did a little callback to it.
it's like he knew the impact that would have.
I feel like he does that hand motion a lot, like in his church when he's talking about like the fulfillment of Jesus.
No, he's got to come inside you. Yeah. No, I'll
Yeah, even in your heart.
yeah.
That's some twisted shit.
Yeah. It's like, whoa.
Come into my heart, man. And black metal's a problem.
It's like that's not how any of these systems or orifices work, Jesus.
Well, it does if you're actually evil and you're like the Satan yourself. I mean, that's what they think Satanists do, is come in people's hearts. Like some twisted sexual shit. It's also the fucking gospel, man. Like,
The fucking gospel, yeah. That's all right. Well,
5
man.
a.m. shaking fist.
Ooh,
Okay.
wow. Well, yeah, where he's at, it's 5 a.m. But yeah, well, thanks for hanging out with us. Good to see you again, dude.
Yeah, thanks for being here till 5 a.m. your time.
Yeah.
This is
Wake
a
up our
weird
buddy.
a.m. for you.
Yeah, wake up our buddy Keith. Like, he's British, but he hasn't watched us live in a while. But anyway, man.
Good dude, though.
Well, yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I love Keith.
Building our global network.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, just feel like I'm spent after 15 minutes of Clint.
Oh, you know.
15 minutes of heaven.
He's my new frenemies.
Frenemies?
Nemesis / friend.
Oh.
Frenemies.
Okay. Yeah. Well, this is true. All right. Oh yeah. I'm out of all the things. So except for I guess I'll just do the usual, hey, that as always, thanks for real. Thanks everyone for hanging out with us tonight.
Good times.
Thanks for pretending to be an audience while we pretend to do a show. It's fun that this is how we can actually hang out with people. So thank you.
Parasocial for the win.
Yeah, but as always, now that we're here on the internet pretend land places, but do all the internet things you've been commenting. Please if you haven't, follow, subscribe, whatever platform we're on, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Yeah, that's the one.
We should get business cards made with our YouTube URL on it and nothing else, and send it to people, and they can leave it in a bathroom stall on the floor. We can see how many weirdly organic new viewers we can get.
That sounds fantastic. But if people also want to do it the old-fashioned way, just tell your friends, or as I love to say, tell people you hate because you want to annoy them or piss them off with something. We're always down
tell
for
your local pastor.
Yes, or tell Clint if you know him.
You'd be like, I thought you might like this.
That would be fan-fucking-tastic. So, but yeah, all the things. Thanks, everybody. All right, Matt.
May your things and stuff be forever with your people.
See if there it is. Good night, everybody. See you next week.